Yo, was good. It's your boy Gamer Kiske back at you with some midday talk. We're gonna talk about Siobhan Robinson was good, man. Salute to Siobhan Robinson, man. Just some midday talk about some NBA stuff, man. About this Knicks Cavs. Talk about my Manchester United versus the Wolves for all you soccer fans. I'm gonna be watching as we go along. Uh and yeah, your boy Chuck. Where's Chuck? The people versus Chuck. Chuck has been getting eviscerated. He's been getting destroyed. Thomas Abreu, salute, man. SJ the third, salute. Yeah, we're just gonna talk about some random NBA stuff. Fly Infect. It's a crazy name. Nick's about to get clapped tonight. I don't know. We'll see, man. Josh, Uncle Fulio, salute, man. We will see what happened with these Knicks tonight, man. I'm not sure if we're gonna get clapped. Keith Gill, what up? Let me say we're not getting up to the we are not we should not look down upon any team. No team is too small for us to think that because they're the team of yesteryear or the Cavs are 3-0 right now. Yo, what's up, 0.5? Salute, young Simba, salute, man. Living a good life, salute. Joe Madden, salute. We're gonna get into at 3 o'clock, baby. We're gonna get into at 3 o'clock, baby. What's wrong with you, boy? Gotta hit that crap, man. Napoli. Let's go, man. First, let me just say some things off of the Cavs. The Cavs, just looking at the Vegas odds, I believe the Knicks, if this would get to the Vegas odds, golly, what the hell? Yeah, Vegas odds, Knicks are plus 135. You got against the spread, they got the Knicks at plus 3.5 points, negative 110, which means what? Put in 100, put 110 to get 100. If I said that right. And obviously sorry, I read that right. So yeah, just some things for the Knicks, man. Some scouting. So one, we may be without Alec Burke tonight, who has been going off. The kid has been killing. I think he's averaging 20.7 points. Hold up. Let me get the stats. I think he's averaging 20.7 points. Yeah. 20.7 points per game, which ranks second on team. Jules ran at 23.7. RJ Barrett at 17.7 points a game. But yeah, Alec Burke will be a major miss. This is a guy who's played really well from the perimeter. Nigel Smith, what up? Quiet Money, what up? Salute. Let me see what else we got in here. That's what we got. New people. This guy. Let me see this clown. Bulls are better than you. You didn't win Jack before Ferguson. You haven't won Jack after Ferguson. You're like the Spurs with Pop. I mean, Chelsea's just mad because they don't have the history that we have. We haven't won things since Ferguson. Fair enough. We haven't won the league. We haven't won Champions League. Our ownership is still trash, but we're still the most profitable team in the world. And again, you're just mad that you can't be Aston Villa. I'm just saying, man. You guys lost to Aston Villa. That's Drew Aston Villa. So you can talk all that trash about him, but and that's what I don't like about Knicks fans. This is what I don't like. They legit think that if you pay attention to the draft, that you're not paying attention to the team, which is asinine. When we talk about development of this team, you can't sit there and say, "Oh, we shouldn't talk about the draft because we have a team to worry about." No, we have a team to worry about. The Knicks do not have a lot of talent. I don't care what no one says. Now, Rob yesterday, shoot to Rob. This guy was like, he's like, you have but you have to coach it up. No. If you have talent on the team, yes, you have to coach it up. But talent's gonna shine regardless. You got teams where you got players who are putting up 20 points here and there. Jaren Jackson, I think, was putting up 20 before John Morant came. 20 or 19, something like that before John Morant came. He was shooting from like above, at least in the high 30s from three before John Morant came. That's talent. Jaren Jackson is talent. Now he keeps getting hurt, but that's talent. The Knicks weren't having these type of guys. Now we brought Julius Randle, right? That's talent. RJ Barrett, talent. But for the most part, we don't have a lot of talent on this team. Or we didn't, I guess, before the season started. To sit here and act like we just need to just worry about his coach and say, no, I'm worried about the draft too. I'm worried about everything. Cade Cunningham, Josh Christopher, Jalen Suggs, Moses Moody, Evan Mobley, Jalen Green, Kuminga. I'm thinking about all these dudes. This is a year where you don't have to tank. You're gonna find something in the lottery. And if we move up, you might find something else. So To not think of all facets of the game in regards to development is stupid. It's asinine. It's dumb. It's careless. No front office does that and says, let's just care about this team now. Let's not worry about the draft. They got scouts and people analyzing these kids right now. They have having scouts, people analyze these kids at CAA, the agency, whatever, with Leon Rose, when these guys were in high school, middle school. So why not think about this stuff? Why should we be behind the curve? It's just asinine to think that let's just worry about what we got new. No, you worry about what we got. I'm gonna worry about everything else. So I'm well more informed. So when we get to the draft for myself, you're not sitting here giving some cockamamie breakdown. Oh, well, I heard because you read some on SB Nation or Bleacher Report. I watch these kids right now, man. So yeah, some things to watch out for. So according to SB Nation, it's on the Cleveland website. It said things to watch out for: going hard in the mother truck and paint. That's mad corny. They said, as mentioned before, what made Cleveland so effective against Philadelphia was the Cavs attacking the overmatched Dwight Howard early and getting him into foul trouble, which is what I asked the Knicks, or wish the Knicks would have done with RJ Barrett against Sabonis, but they didn't. And RJ Barrett was eating Sabonis' food all day. He was destroying him, going to the basket wise. To continue, it says this forced the Sixers to play Mike Scott, usually a 4, and Tony Bradley, usually the third string center. More and the rest was history for the Doc Rivers and his squad. The Cavs had 68 paint points against the Sixers, and the Knicks ranked dead last in opponents' points in I can't talk. And the Knicks ranking dead last in opponent points in the paint per game. Expect similar results. So you know they're gonna do. They're gonna attack Mitch Robinson. They're gonna attack Nerlens Wells. Get out big man out there. Well, they may attack Jalen Julius Randle more, right? Julius Randle is basically our Svengali. He's a guy who's making things work. His facilitation on the court, working the pinch post, working the weak strong side post. They're probably going to attack Julius Randle a lot. Have the guards use their speed to attack us with Sexton and Garland. So, guys, do not underestimate strategy when it comes to these so-called teams that are supposed to be lowering us. Mama said, "Don't trust you." Salute. Knicks take salute. Let me see what else we got. John Talento. Oh, you can't see the number to call in? Oh, apologies for that. Hold up. Don't call in yet. Apologies for that. I don't know. It says it can't see, but I can see it. I guess maybe on the YouTube it messes things up. So I apologize for that, man. Because what I'm seeing on the StreamYard link, it doesn't seem like it's blocking the number. But I think for the YouTube, it kind of expands it, so it looks a little awkward. But hold on, let me just share this video. We got a call already. Hold on. Hold on. Put that over there. It's my hair cream. You.
Hello?
What's up, bro?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Who's this?
This is a call-in number for the YouTube channel I was watching?
Yes.
Yep. Okay. There was a live video. I was going to call and talk about what you're talking about.
I mean, do you know what the show's about?
Yeah, they're talking about the Cavs preview, and I've been a Knicks fan my whole life.
Okay, what's your name? Zach Stanton? Staten?
Zach Staten. Yep.
Sorry about that. Yeah. So what are your overall thoughts on the Knicks versus the Cavs, man? What do you?
Oh well, I was just gonna say that they're a sneaky team. I know they're supposed to be lower than us, but they're 3-0 for a reason. I was just gonna say that we can't act like we have it in the bag, and we got to keep coming with that defensive intensity and the confidence.
I agree with you. Are you scared of the fact that they're probably, like they did with the 76ers, they're probably going to attack Randall, Mitch, get our big men into foul trouble, so we have to go to Nolan Wells, and I don't even want to say, but Amari Spellman. Do you think that they're going to attack our defense?
Yeah, Amari Spellman could not get on the floor.
I'm praying that doesn't happen, but this Cavs team, they're 3-0 for a reason. Now, granted, they only beat one team that was in the playoffs last year, but they did beat a Hornets team that just beat the Nets team that everyone's thinking is going to be deadly in the playoffs. But, are you scared that this might be a letdown game?
I'm not saying they might get let down. I'm just saying that I've played and I coached basketball for 5 years where I'm from.
Oh,
and
wow.
I know a lot of kids. I'm a young guy. I'm 26, but I've been coaching for 5 years. And what I tell my teams when we're playing a team that's not the best, is that it's a trap game. You can't go in like you already won. You'll come out flat. They'll punch you in the mouth, and then your confidence will be shattered, and you won't know what to do. I mean, I know they're professionals, but it happens all the time. And I also wanted to comment. I was listening to you about how we don't have a whole lot of talent. And while I agree with you that we don't have a lot of superstar talent yet, there's a couple of possible all-stars in the future, but everybody's talented or they wouldn't make it to the league. So in a coaching aspect, if you can get these guys to play with effort and defensive intensity like they have been every game, which is hard to do with professionals, they take plays off. Alfred Payton's known for that. Julius Randle's known for that. Sometimes takes quarters off. Mitchell Robinson, I love him, but he seems like he lacks effort sometimes. And a lot of my thing is, if Tibbs can demand the respect of grown men and make them fear him, we could surprise some teams. If he can make them fear him for playing time or for fear of, getting traded or getting cut because of his relationship with Leon Rose, I think they're going to surprise some people. And you got a lot of guys in contract years. I think that's why Julius is playing a lot better. That could be a reason. Maybe it's because it's a contract year because of his option.
This is what I said. And shoot to back.
Sorry, I came in late, so if I didn't.
No, I'm not coming at you. No. I'm saying I said this yesterday, right? So, and please, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, man. Please support us, man. I love talking to coaches, man. Love to have you back on again, bro. But no, this is what I've been saying with Julius Randle. Now, I think it's weird, right? We have a situation a little similar to like the Warriors, where our best player in Julius Randle is I don't think he's the leader per se. I think that the so-called de facto leader was RJ Barrett, but right now he's not the most impactful player compared to Randle, right? So, and then you have a coach who, again, I guess you'd call him the leader. So it's not exactly like the Warrior situation, but as a coach, right? How would you install the leadership structure with this team? Would you put it in the hands of a guy in Julius Randle who, again, I agree with you. I said this, he's in a quasi contract year. Would you put it on him, or would you put it in the hands of the kid that, I won't say he's a golden child, but his attitude, the way he approaches the game is everything you want in a player, but he may not be the most productive right now. How do you do that as a coach?
He's built, I like RJ. He's built for New York. You can tell just his mentality and the way he goes about the game. New York fans will love him. I mean, they do now, but they will even more as soon as he progresses.
Right.
But in my opinion, and I'm not an NBA coach, so I'm not saying I'm that talented of a coach. I'm not trying to say I could run a team or I know better than the professionals that make millions do. But what I think is, you don't necessarily need to put it in your best player's hands to be the leader. You need to put it in the guy who the locker room listens to, whoever that may be.
Exactly.
Whoever's the best worker. Yeah.
No. That's what I was going to say, Coach. I was going to say to you, that there were rumors of some issues last year with Julius Randle and RJ Barrett, allegedly, before I get in trouble.
Yep.
And that some of that body language, because look, I don't know if you know about Coach Sim of Nothing But Knicks, but he loves Randle a little bit too much. And I said, hey, look, on the court, that body language was not healthy. It looked at many times like there was some discord in the court.
Even if it's from a role player, that body language is cancerous.
Right.
It doesn't matter who it's from, it's bad. But for example, last year, they call him whole team Dot. That's his Twitter. It's like Dotson is a good leader, or at least was a good team guy. You need guys. It could be leader by committee too, but you need guys that are going to go in every day and be a coach's voice to the locker room when the coach is not exactly around per se. Or you need players that, even if they're not the best player, you need them to come prepare and be professionals, and you need them to be able to keep guys accountable. Now, if the worst player on the team, let's say, might not be a leader because they can't command the respect of the best player, maybe. But if that best player doesn't listen to anybody on the team, I don't want him.
All right.
You know what I mean?
No, I agree.
I want to. It doesn't matter if it's RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, And I'm not saying Frank like I'm a Frank Hive guy, but Frank Ntilikina, doesn't matter who it is, Kevin Knox. If we need a couple of leaders, not just one big dog. You need guys that are going to be glue guys, like Draymond Green. I firmly believe he's the heart and soul of the Warriors, and he was never the best player.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like on the Cavs, I mean, yeah, you got LeBron, but you had guys like Tristan Thompson who were emotional leaders on the floor, hustle guys. I mean, it's got to be everybody because we are building a culture on a Knicks team that hasn't been good for a long time. So you need, in my opinion, you need more than just Julius Randle or RJ Barrett. You need everybody. Like we did good against the Bucks. Elfrid Payton stepped up as a leader on the floor. He was communicating with guys better than I've seen in a while out of him. I mean, it seems like quickly, even though he's a rookie, when he goes out there, people just play with him better, and you can see that. Like, take other sports for example. Carson Wentz on the Eagles. People don't want to play for that man. People don't dive for balls, this and that. But when Nick Foles or Jalen Hurts get in the game, people play better around them. So that says a lot about your leadership.
Yeah, I definitely
and the respect you command in the locker room.
No, I definitely agree. So it'll be interesting to see how they set up the leadership structure. But Zach, man, I thank you so much for calling in, bro. I greatly appreciate this. Hope to hear from you again. Hope to see you in the chat. Hope you subscribe to the channel, man. And catch us tonight, man. I'll be doing a watch along for the game. So hopefully if you have some time, you can pop in, man.
Yeah. I just came in late to the video. It was live. I didn't know if you were on or not.
No. I'm just doing some midday. Yeah, I'm doing some midday stuff during this week. But yo, thanks a lot for calling in, bro. See you, man.
Yeah, see you, man.
Peace, bro. Yeah, man, he's right, bro. It will come down to a lot of this team's structure or development, is going to come down to the leadership structure, right? Who do you not necessarily appoint, because sometimes appointing guys may be too abrupt, right? It's going to come down to who do you establish, who do you want these guys to follow under. Look at this guy, Ron, drinking from that dirty, disgusting, filthy cup. Look at it. It's all rotted out. Look at that. I can't even see the image. I can't even see the logo on that. Pathetic. This is sad, man.
Ron, pay no attention to him. Look at the soccer jersey. First of all, Guillermo, Guillermo, do you have any other clothes than a Manchester United jersey? Because every time you're on TV, it's a man. Is that where you shop?
Manchester.
Let's get it.
Ron, real quick. I'm gonna teach you, Ron. Hold on in 2 minutes about Manchester United. Remember the Spurs before Pop?
Guys,
and look at what the Spurs are going to be without Pop. That's Manchester United. They're the best coach of all time. They were trash before the coach. The coach retired, and now they're trash again. They had the coach for 20 years. They overachieved. It was like a lot of the times it was like the Detroit Pistons that won that chip. Manchester United had teams like that, but the coach was just the genius. And then he got old, he retired, and now they're trash again. And Guillermo keeps coming up with excuses, but
he like them God's teams, I see.
Yeah.
He like them Jets too. I got some bad news to tell him too.
Yeah, they couldn't even tank right. They screwed up on the first overall pick.
And guess who's right behind them in the draft order, courtesy of the Houston Texans.
Patriots, right?
The Miami Dolphins got the third overall pick.
Oh yeah, you guys got the third.
Even if Houston wins Sunday, we're gonna be in the top 5 regardless.
Yeah. What the Dolphins need to do is get Penny Sewell and put him in front of Tua.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, man. I'm gonna tell you this, Guillermo. This is real talk. This is real talk. This is real as can get. Me and my barber was talking about it because he's a Dolphin fan. Matter of fact, he's the one who got me that cup, as a present. You know what I mean? Shout out to my old barber. But
you messed up, barber. You messed up.
Man, me and him was talking, and I told him, I said, man, do not be surprised. Do not be surprised if we mess around and pull Arizona.
To trade to go up and get Lawrence and not
do not be surprised.
You're not getting
ain't nobody got as much ammo in this draft as the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, what they could do.
Hold on. the Arizona situation, they had basically a lame duck with Josh Rosen, right? Not say Josh Rosen's not talented. They didn't have an O-line. That lame duck coach, right? I forgot. Not Vance Joseph.
And I'm gonna give you more information why. I'm gonna give you more information why I say that is because it's no secret Miami was trying to move up to get Joe Burrow in this draft. So think about that. I'm not even putting it. I'm not putting that past our front office to do it.
Ron, I wouldn't do that. 2 is nice.
Yeah, there's no point.
I like it.
2 is nice. I wouldn't
like 2, but if you got a chance to get a Justin Lawrence,
no, you're not doing it. You're not.
You hope we don't do it. You hope we don't do it.
No. Even forget me being a Jets fan. It's just not smart because if you have a young quarterback who's already not saying he's leading by himself, but he's getting to the playoffs. Your team just need weapons. Remember, Tua looked
we do. That's all we need.
They loaded them with weapons, right? And you got decent receivers this year. You got the boy from LSU, Jamar Chase. You got the other guy
and his old wide receiver in Alabama.
You got Devontae
is his old wide receiver.
Devontae Smith.
Minnesota. You got a lot of good.
Guillermo, I'm telling you, I hope we don't do it, but I won't be surprised. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think they're going to do it. I don't think they're going to do it because they have 2 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks. What they're going to do with them is put weapons and an O-line around. Get an O-lineman, get a wide receiver or 2 to put around Tua. I wouldn't trade all that ammo.
No, I wouldn't
get Lawrence.
I wouldn't trade it neither, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, you're going to have to trade your both first-round picks and Tua to get up to the number 1 spot.
And see, you know what?
Probably more because you're in the playoffs, so your first round is not as valuable.
Yeah, what is it, like the 25th? I think.
It'd probably be
25th around,
somewhere in there. Yeah, it'd be pretty much at the bottom, especially if we win. When we win this weekend, when we beat them.
No. Say what you first said, Ron.
When we beat them Bills. Hey, I hope it ain't no snow. What's the forecast?
Who are you playing? The Patriots?
I hope we gotta go. We gotta go to Buffalo, man. And I know how it is.
You got Buffalo.
The Bills probably not going to play a starter.
No. The Bills need to win to get that wild card spot.
They got to stay ahead of Pittsburgh.
They Bills have the division.
Yeah, they got the division, but they want if they want the first round bye.
Right, bye. Yeah.
They got to get ahead of Pittsburgh. What's Pittsburgh? I think them and Pittsburgh is tied with the same record. I think they are.
Yeah, Pittsburgh is.
I'm just laughing at our division. Like we're 5 and 10, and we're playing for the Cowboys for a playoff spot.
That should be against the law.
Division in the Giants still have a chance, despite y'all lost the last 3.
Yeah. No quarterback. We had no Jones only come back the last game against the Ravens.
No, but seriously though, but my team, I mean, we in the right position, man, and to have all these picks and to be in the playoff is crazy. It's really crazy. Houston, thank you, Bill O'Brien, because he's gonna help us build a juggernaut.
What trade? What trade was that for Houston?
This is why you should never underrate bad GMs. Never underestimate bad GMs or bad teams where you can take advantage of them. And I'm hoping that the Knicks pull that off. But let's get back to this Knicks.
Hold on a second, Ron. Don't you guys have the Steelers pick too for that Mika Fitzpatrick?
I think that was last year. I think
I
thought you guys got 2 picks for that. No,
we might have like a late rounder also because I think
second rounder maybe.
We got of them.
I think it's a second rounder actually, which isn't bad.
We definitely got Houston first and second round pick.
Let's get back to these Knicks. Screw the Dolphins. No one cares about the bum-aid Dolphins.
I'm gonna get you a Tua jersey.
But I'm gonna take a dump on.
Hold on, Guillermo. All I gotta say to you is, don't worry. You guys got the second round pick. You guys are gonna have the first overall pick for the next 4 years. So you guys are good.
Yeah,
don't worry, you guys are that bad. You're gonna get a first round pick.
Let me tell you another thing that might happen, Guillermo, to make it even more.
But at least we're in the playoff spot. At least we're looking at a playoff spot. It doesn't matter. It don't matter. It don't matter.
Dolphins, you're not surviving. You play in the NFC least. You got.
It don't matter. Don't matter.
Joe, I'm gonna give him some more.
He's jealous. Guillermo is jealous. The Jets are like the baby brother that's on drugs that you can't kick out of the house. That's what he's like in the MetLife. Like the baby brother on drugs that you can't kick out.
Just number one first rounder they drafted 2 years ago or a year ago.
Wait, what do you mean? What'd you say?
Okay, Joe. All right, Joe. Let me ask you this, please. If you guys win a division, are you winning your wild card game?
We're playing against Tampa, and we only lost that game by a touchdown. Tampa don't look that good. Tampa are overhyped. I'm telling you.
It depends on what's going on. You get Tampa on.
Tampa has been decent lately. You guys have looked like. And I watched that game. Your defense was excellent that game against Tom Brady. And I believe it was a Jones who had those 2 bad interceptions. The one was I think he was in the red zone. There's one in the red zone. We tried to throw out.
Ingram dropped 2 touchdown or 2 near enough touchdown passes
and
that
Ingram
game.
dropped the 3rd down. No, I thought it was the Eagles when he dropped.
No, that's not the first game. He's dropped about 8 or 9 passes that cost us games. Ingram got to get out of there. That's what I want us to get a tight end in the second round or third round.
No, just like I do to Chuck, and I wish Chuck was in there. He's probably sleeping or whatever, but I wish Chuck. Oh, salute to Danny Landers, by the way.
Like I admit, the Giants stink, but at least we're in a playoff run.
Salute to all you guys, man. But I wish Chuck was in there. But
I got a chance to talk to him this morning.
Oh, you talked to Chuck?
Yeah, I got a chance to talk to him this morning. And you know, he said, Guillermo, I know he said it. I'm gonna have to go through. I'm gonna have to go dig through all these tapes that Freezy had to find it. But I know he told me that Frank Ntilikina wasn't going to score 12 points. He said 20. I know he said 12.
Now he's trying to cheat. This is what I'm saying with Chuck.
I know he said 12.
Yeah, where is Chuck? Chuck's been missing. I was going to put an Amber Alert for him.
And Freezy said he remembered him saying 20. So Chuck, I know he said 12.
DSJ was averaging 15 and 6. Was it, Joe? What was it he said?
He said DSJ had averaged 15 and 6 and Frank. He'll average 5 and 1.
Because I said he will not average 12, but I can't wait. I can't wait to get him. I can't wait.
Your boy Frank, and tonight Frank might be, especially
Burks is out. Burks is out.
No, Burks is out. If
Frank gonna play more tonight,
boy Frank comes in as the off guard and can give you 2-3 threes. That's all he needs to do to show his value. He won't get minutes. DJ can't do that. And play
that's
defense.
what I told him. That's what I told him. I said, who gonna have? I said the question we need to be asking. Who's going to have the better season, DSJ or Frank? Let's have a debate on that.
Well, that's a bad debate because both of them are trash.
Well, DSJ, I think Frank going to turn the corner.
I'll say this. They're both trash, but at least Frank has shown that he might have the ability to do a little bit more than DSJ.
Yeah.
DSJ's not Trae Young. He can't split the defenses. And look what's happening now. He's hurt now with the quad or whatever.
I don't think he hurt. I think something happened and something's going on. He ain't hurt.
I'm gonna tell you, I don't think he fully recovered from that back either.
Down, man.
Yeah. But you know, Guillermo, one last thing on the Dolphins, I got to tell you to break your heart, man. You know, with us having that 3rd overall pick, you know what could potentially happen as well, right? One of those quarterback needy team gonna come calling the Dolphins.
Yeah, they're gonna throw you a bowl of picks.
Hold on. Where did Houston Texans expect to be? What, 3rd, 4th, 5th?
3rd or 4th pick.
Right now it's the 3rd. Miami got the 3rd slot. The 3rd spot right now.
On the 27th.
And the lowest we can fall is the 5th spot. If they win this week, we can fall to the 5th.
I'm telling you, Penny Sewell to the Dolphins. That's who I take.
We're
going to trade out of that pick.
JT Fields scares me. Zach Wilson from BYU. He's a guy who he'll launch a bit, the velocity, and I need to watch more of him. His intermediate game, I'm not sure if he has that touch yet. And then you got the boy Trey Lance from
South Dakota State Division 2, something like that.
I'm not okay. Give me the top quarterback needy teams, right? I'm not sure the Giants.
No, I don't even think the Jets are going to go quarterback.
49ers.
The Jets need to put weapons around Darnold. I like Darnold. I don't think it's
49ers already
to give up on him.
49ers,
they're not committing to Garoppolo.
Philadelphia, the Eagles.
Let me say this real quick with Sam Darnold. Here's the thing with Sam Darnold, though. A new GM in Joe Douglas, and he's basically going to run it as a GM. Now, I mean, the owner's an idiot. He tried to make it where it's a GM and a coach kind of report. This guy wants to make his mark. You know, GMs want to come in with their own quarterback.
With their own quarterback and own coach.
Darnold, I still think is talented, right? But you're not paying Sam Darnold even $30 million a year, right? You want to reset that rookie contract, load up the team with talent, draft talent, and then have that. Then when the rookie contract comes, hopefully you won. I'm just saying theoretically. Hopefully you won something, or you're in the path. Then you give the quarterback that contract. You shave down some contracts and then slowly build, right, with guys who are a little bit more affordable. I'm not sure you could do that with Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold can't demand 30 million. I'm not sure Sam Darnold.
That's the beautiful thing.
But he has one more year left. One more year left in a rookie deal.
That's the beautiful thing.
If he put pieces around him and see what he can do. If he can do it next year.
If he shows next year, he's still gonna have to show other than 1 year. So his contract wouldn't be big.
No, guys, they're killing us in the chat. So all right, no more football talk. We're gonna get back to these Knicks. So let's get back. Let me read off some of the scouting from this SB Nation article, right? So you guys heard me talk about my computer's acting stupid. All right. Come on. What the?
Any update on Knox? Because I know Knox was put day to day, right?
I think he's probable though. I think last time I checked last night he's probable.
Goodness, man.
So
we got a walking mash unit.
No, we can't. They didn't like that we won, so now their office are pissed because they want them picks.
Hold on, guys. Let me just read some scouting from SB Nation. So, as you guys have heard, the Cavaliers attacked Dwight Howard. They had 68 paints in a point against the Sixers. And the Knicks ranked dead last in opponent points in the paint. As you've seen, we got mollywop by the Pacers with Sabonis. We got destroyed with Embiid by 76ers. Last game, I guess you could say, I don't know how many paints he scored in the paint per se, Giannis, but I think that was probably one of our better games. So, how do you guys feel about the Cavaliers using their guards and Garland and Sexton to attack possibly Randall, to get Randall out the game, and that would be exposed to only Mitch and Nolan Wells for long stretch of time?
I say same game plan as you went against Giannis, and I think this should be the game plan against most teams unless they're elite shooters. Clog that paint and make them shoot. I'd rather lose by a team dropping shots than giving up easy buckets in the paint. So clog that paint because, Garland can shoot, but Sexton, they're streaky. They could drop 4 or 5 in a night, and the next night they go 0 for 9 or 0 for 10. They're streaky. And people are saying the Cavs do look good at 3-0, and the 3-0 for a reason. They played well. But when you look at it, they struggled to beat the Hornets. They had to go to double overtime against the Pistons, and they beat the 76ers on the second game of a back-to-back without Joel Embiid. So if the thing with might kill us now is we're after losing probably 20 points when it comes to Burks. That's one thing we're going to have to – Arja's going to have to step up. Randall's going to have to step up even more offensively. Frank's going to have to come in and drop a couple of threes. Bullock needs to get his head out of his butt and start shooting because we need the scoring because losing Burks is 20 points out. 18, 20 points is gone now without Burks. And they need to play the same intensity defense. Play the exact same way as you play Milwaukee. You can win this game. Any slip-ups, especially from the guard play, because their guards don't play defense. Our guards need to show up on offense. That's the only way you win this game.
Let me get to Ron. Ron, what are your thoughts about those paint points? The fact that or the idea that they attack Randall and try to get him out the game, given that Randall's our most impactful player right now?
I say initially what they need to do to try to combat that. That's why Frank gonna be instrumental tonight. With these players that's out, you're gonna need somebody who can play some kind of defense on the perimeter. And Alex Burks, for as great as he is as an offensive guy, his defense is pretty good too. Mm-hmm. And so Frank is gonna be called on to play defense tonight. And so what I think they need to do is start off, don't go immediately into no zone. I wouldn't start off immediately in the zone. I'd try to play them straight up and see if your guys can handle them. You know what I mean? The guys on the perimeter, RJ and Frank. And if not, then you may have to go to a zone and let them try to shoot you out of it. But I really do see us giving them a problem because we got bigger guards.
Let me say, hold your point. Mm-hmm. Just real quick, right? So there might be some issues, right? You go to man, right? You will need good games from your guards to defend them because I can see. Just real quick, they're averaging a shade above 30 assists per game, which I believe that's actually one that makes them one of the top playmaking teams in the NBA, right? So there's going to be a lot of ball movement. Now I agree with you. In one sense, you play the zone. You're trying to neutralize some of that. Well, I mean, the pass will be if they have good passing, they can split the zone. They can destroy some of the zone, right? But that'll probably put less pressure or less of a chance of them to directly attack Randall versus if they play a lot of pick and roll try to get Randall to, switch onto a faster guard like Garland or Sexton, drive him to the basket, then that's when you might run into trouble with Randall, right? So what is it? Protect Randall? Obviously, these extremes. Protect Randall and play the zone to protect Randall, or play more man to try to neutralize some of that passing. And then
I think you play man. And hang your hat on it. And reason why is because we got a new coaching staff that's, the defensive scheme is different than what it's been in years with this team. They look like, of course, these are the same players, which is crazy, but they look like they have better individual defensive skills this year than they did in years past. It's crazy to think, and I think about how Knox is playing defense one-on-one on Middleton the other night. Like a lot of the times when they were playing one-on-one, they were able to pretty much handle their man. And so Milwaukee was a litmus test for me, but we know the thing is, if they can beat Milwaukee, they can beat Cleveland, because that's a bull coming at you and Giannis and Middleton. Them two guys, they're going to try to come at you, but Sexton and Garland, they're smaller guards, so you're going to have to get them in foul trouble.
Ron, they're shooting, I believe, let me just look at the stats. They're shooting really well. At least the individual players are shooting really well from three. Let me just rattle off some stats.
They've lost. Kevin Love's not playing tonight. Isaac Okoro's out tonight.
Well, that's big.
Right. Isaac Okoro's out, but let me just rattle off some of the.
Well, he hasn't looked too good. Ron, listen to this. He played against the Pistons. He played 42 minutes. He had 3 rebounds, no assists, no points in 42 minutes.
Wow.
Hold on.
That's a bad stat line.
Let me just rattle some stats from some of their shooters, right? So Colin Sexton's 27 points, shooting 67% from three. Darius Garland, and this is off of 3 attempts, right? Darius Garland shooting 50% from three, 4.7 attempts. Cedi Osman, 52.9% from three, 5.7 attempts a game. Kevin Love is out. Then you got Larry Nance, who's even shooting 57% at 2.3 attempts a game, right? So they're emphasizing spacing out the floor. Even Dean Wade, he's shooting 40% off of 2.5 attempts a game. So this is a team that, they don't look the same like they did last year. This is a team that they're going to value spacing, and they have a guy in Drummond. They have an inside-out game. Now, is Drummond one of the better passes? I mean, obviously, Drummond, he's basically a guy who's just going to try to be a dog down low. But that inside-out game, the Bucks don't have that game. Brook Lopez is not going to pound you down low and feed out to the guys. He can pass from there, but he's not that type of guy. You're not scared of him.
Yeah, he changed his game up. He went from being an inside guy to being an outside guy later in his career.
Yeah. So the Bucks just present a different. This is what I'm saying. The Bucks, I think they were a lot easier to defend than some of these other teams were playing. And we struck the first 2 games have superlative down low players in terms of, and not even I'm talking about Sabonis and Embiid. We could not contain those guys, man.
It's the perfect game to find out how good our defense is.
Mm-hmm.
This is the perfect game, because we're gonna find out if the game against the Bucks was a coming out party or not. This gonna be a test. I mean, them guys can shoot. It's well documented, but you just hope that it's a series of things. You hope it's great defense on our side, and you hope they have an off night shooting.
And that's the thing with them. The Cavs are going to cool down. Like they've had hot streaks last year
that's
too.
astronomical.
Yeah, but what you do is you play zone early with them. First 5 minutes, make them shoot. And if they start dropping some, then you change it up to man. Throw zone at them early, clog up that paint, and make them shoot. And if it's dropping, then you go man to man. Then you. But
I'm gonna tell you what I'm more concerned with, though. Other than that point guard, I'm really concerned with Andre Drummond. Has Mitch taken what he's learned in those 2 games he faced him and ain't going to make an adjustment? That's what I want to see.
He looks a lot better. I think he can handle Drummond a little bit better than the last game.
Or do
you put Randall on Drummond? You put Randall on Drummond.
Guys who are going to catch it on the block and body him. I have to see him provide.
I got to see him get in the front in front of him. Do not let him get you behind the basket.
To block those guys out.
Yeah, he got to do it.
Let me just say something on the outside game. So the Knicks, oddly enough, given how good the Cavaliers seem to be from the perimeter, and overall they're shooting. I can't find the actual average quickly. They're shooting from three. They're shooting 43.4% from three as a team, which is fairly good. And And but as a ranking, now here's a surprising stat for the Knicks. As much as I said, and I don't know that this probably doesn't account for unguarded shots, but the Knicks right now, this is weird. Knicks last year ranked 20. They ranked 28th in opponents' 3-point percentages. Right? Guess where they're ranking this year?
Well,
just take a wild guess.
Last year they were 28th, and
are they
defending
last?
the 3.
Has it got worse?
And defending the 3.
No, it's gotten better, but you wouldn't believe it.
Second or third?
With a first.
Whoa.
There you go.
That's big. That's big. Hey, girl, that's big. You know what that tells me?
That's after changing it a little bit now. The perspective.
You know what that tells me? That tells me, and it's crazy because when I hear that, I can still picture all the games we played thus far. And what I'm going to say is kind of actually counterproductive to the statement. What that tells me is that we got better on-ball defensive getting out to the shooters. But when I say that, I know there's been times that I looked out there and see guys wide open shooting threes. So is that one of those guys?
They're not. I don't think this accounts for open shots, right? So they're just saying
missing. That's all it is. Make a miss. That's what it is.
And that's why I complain. That's what happened in the Pacers game. Pacers shot terribly in the first half. Second half, they found their stroke a little bit. Right?
Yeah. So that's one of those stats that's kind of they need another stat to say contested threes and wide open threes. That's what they need.
Right. And first of all, let me just say salute some people, man. C-Max, salute Dave Lee, May 4th, Olatunde Gabriel, man, my Nigerian brother. I believe he's Yoruba. Salute, even though I'm not Yoruba. Kerry Cox, salute, man. Jack D, Andrew Wilson, man. Stephen Fox, the general, man. He's in the building. Salute him. He was on late night till like 3 a.m. yesterday.
Woj. Stephen Woj Fox.
That's Stephen Woj right there. That's a great name for him. Daniel Landis, salute, man. Harlem Girl, she said, today's a new game. I don't care about the 2 games you lost. Well, you have to go back to see how you improve. So you always have to look back.
Well, to me, it's a must win to keep this season alive. If we lose this, there's a big difference of being 2-2 going into Toronto and being 1-3.
Coach Color Block, salute too, man. David Jackson, salute. Yeah. You have to look at your games to get better. The Knicks were literally Arsenal just won. Why would they win? Arsenal. Oh gosh, Arsenal sucks. Anyway,
Arsenal getting hot out of nowhere for around Christmas. They seem to always get hot and then they get cold.
They disgust me.
Tell it about it.
But this game tonight, man. Again, if Frank. This is why I wish Chuck was here. Chuck, where are you at? Because I want to kill you again. You want to come in and talk trash? You came on in the morning.
Put an Amber Alert out. Amber Alert out for Chuck.
Everybody else. I was not there. That's not fair. Let me officially kill you, man. You do not have any place to stand on with DJ. Everybody exposed you in the chat. You know what I mean? If Frank comes out tonight and he clams down on Garland, he clams down on Sexton, who's probably their best player. He's probably their best player.
Frankie smokes.
I'm just saying, your boy DJ has no place to stand. And that's what he said. Frank is always injured. I remember him saying that. Joe, I'm hoping Joe was here to hear that. I know he used to say that Frank always gets injured, right?
DSJ always injured.
And say, oh no, I didn't say that. I said Frank always hand checks and all that stuff. I'm like, bro, come on, you can't do this, man.
I know. I said Frank is always injured at the wrong time because he did say. What did he say?
It's okay.
No, that was Freezy that said Frank always injured when it's competition.
It's all right. We can't pick on Chuck. Chuck's old. His brain's deteriorating. We can't.
I'm gonna tell y'all this, man. I won't be shocked tonight if Frank dropped 12 to 15 tonight. I won't be shocked.
I'm happy if he does that.
You'll never see Chuck again. If he drops 15 tonight, Chuck, you'll never see him again.
No.
This morning was with him this afternoon.
No, he's gonna change the argument. He's gonna change to a whole other thing that no one talked about.
My problem with him this morning was I was like, man, look here. I said we all got our personal preferences of who we like on the team, but at the end of the day, when a player playing good, I don't care if it's a player you don't like, you got to admit it. He would not give Frank his credit. You know, he talked, but there was an empty stats and said the man shot wide open. Said them threes was wide open, and it's funny he said that because when I pulled up the highlights, I saw Frank going around on the right side and shot a 3 right in the face of Middleton.
Yeah, pump fake.
Yeah, so I'm like, come on, man. But hey, I got love for him. He a Knicks fan, so.
So let me ask you guys this question, man. First and foremost, salute to Payback Carter, man. Sorry for missing you, bro. Salute to Payback Carter, man. That shoot around that happened the other night, right? With Frank Theo, Iggy, Jared Harper.
They don't need to be shooting around.
Who do you think organized that? Is that a coaching thing? Because I didn't see RJ. Not say RJ and these guys aren't doing it, but who do you think? Is that a coaching decision?
I think they just picked. I think Peyton just got it a couple of guys to shoot around with him because he had a bad couple of games, and it seemed to work. So I'm open. I'm not expecting him to put up 27 again tonight, but at least give me 10 and 6.
If he give me 12, I'm happy.
Give me something. Yeah, give me 10 or 12 and 6. Couple of rebounds, maybe hit a 1-3. I'll be happy. I'm not expecting a 27. If he comes out with a 27-point game again, then great. It's a higher chance we win the game if he's scoring 27. But let's be realistic. If he can give me, as I said, if I can get 12 and 7 out of Quickly and Peyton all year, I'm happy.
Yeah. And shout out to Anthony D in the chat. He says, ease, Frank stands. Don't let them threes cloud your judgment. Frank and Knox have to do this for an entire season before we get hyped.
Yeah.
Hey, agreed. But all we're saying is if a player is playing good, you got to acknowledge that, man. Don't just hold on to what just because you've seen them play bad. When you see them play good, you got to give people their credit, man.
But
that's what coaches done.
But the thing too, Ron, is we've seen Frank and Knox put up nights like this, and they do it for a night or two, and then they drop down again.
And
I want to see it 10. I want 15, 20 games before I start judging that. I want consistency. And that's from the whole team. That's not just from them.
Guys, man. Robert Arroyo, sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. The ball don't lie, bro. Salute to you, bro. And Andrew, I can never pronounce his name. Kalodes Zedge. Salute to you, bro. Anthony Dunbar, salute, man. Ronnie Montero, salute. J. Fahim Jr., salute, man. Do you remember me last night? I saw the channel in the preseason. I like it. Oh, I guess you're talking to somebody else. But Julian Blum, salute. Zach Staten, the coach who just called in. Yeah, so I was trying to say with that question is just, the leadership, right? We talked about Draymond Green, or me and Zach were talking about, the Warriors and how Draymond Green was a vocal leader. Steph Curry was obviously probably the most talented, but he wasn't the vocal leader of that team. Where do you see, I know it's only 3 games right now, right? Julius Randle is the most talented, most impactful player, right? But who do you see how do you see Coach Tom Thibodeau set up the leadership structure with this team? Is he going to do it to Julius Randle, who is playing on a contract? You can call it a contract year, right? And he may be playing up to Tom Thibodeau to kind of be like, hey, I want some security. Are they trying to play it through RJ, who's allegedly the golden child right now? Are they waiting till maybe next year to things solidify? How do you see them playing out the leadership structure with this team?
I think we know in sports, Guillermo, leadership. A coach can't hand that to a player. They have to take it themselves and basically earn the respect of the players on the team. And right now, for my money, if I'm looking at it, it's got to be Julius Randle. Julius Randle is the most efficient player in that starting lineup. Probably is between him and Burks. Very close about their efficiency. But Randle just does so much, man. And then I trust him more at the free throw line right now.
Usually, leaders aren't necessarily the guys who produce the most.
Yeah, it's normally your unsung guys. Yeah, you're right. So
right, sometimes their head, sometimes they, and again, Randle, no offense to Randle, he's playing great this season, but I have not seen, maybe outside of some of that Pelican play when 80 went down, I've never seen Randle as the so-called leader type, right? I still remember the time, even after your boy D'Angelo Russell snitched on Nick P, and your boy Randle would not acknowledge D'Angelo Russell on the court. Now, you could be mad for what he did. What he did was some real.
Yeah, exactly. Terrible.
You as a leader, you're supposed to galvanize everybody, right? You're supposed to get everybody on one accord to where on the court you don't show that there's any weakness, right?
Yeah.
That he messed up, but we all together as one. And me personally, I agree with what Randle did, but as a leader. You know what I mean? So again, it's tough. It's tough. I'm not sure if I could put Randle as a leader now.
I tell you, you got me thinking. You know who probably is better suited for it? It's probably Alfred Payton. It's probably him. Only reason why I say that is because And generally, that's who you want, if anybody, to be that person. The only problem with Elfrid Payton is he doesn't score. He doesn't score consistently. I mean, we know the blimp on the radar, that I guess some kind of eclipse, the Elfrid Payton eclipse. But if he can score 14 points a night, I can look at him as being that guy. And RJ, I just think right now RJ is just too inconsistent rather. Because I told them guys today, I said I got to start paying attention to RJ, man, because I'm not just gonna give you a pass just to give you a pass. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah. This is year 2. I want to see some difference in you, and rightfully so. And he stepped up a bit, but it's hard to say. But Rivers supposed to be that guy. I think Rivers was supposed to be that guy. That's what they brought him here for.
Let me say it's about EP, right? You don't have to necessarily be the scorer. It's just that as a proper point guard, his facilitation is still lacking. I know he had 7.5 assists last year, but again, I think that there's a little bit of he's not like the bona fide, he's not that high level of a facilitator, right? He passed a lot of his passes to Julius Randle. Obviously, this year he's doing the same thing, right? He's just not that type of guy. I think the guy they're trying to make is RJ, just because the way he approaches the game. Yeah. But they're probably going to have to wait till a guy like Randle leaves. Now, wait, first and foremost, salute to who's Mark. He's in the building. Mark, no, I'm asking a question. If you want to come on and fight, you come on and fight, man. Make sure your internet's good. Byron Jones, salute, man. Oh, Brian Jones, excuse me. I said that wrong. Brian Jones, salute. Who else? I just missed somebody else.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Salute. I think RJ and Quickly would take leadership in the locker room. They'll lead the camaraderie. I don't disagree with that. But again, I think you have to wait till a guy like Randle, who, again, Randall's like, in regards to how he came to the team, is kind of disjointed, right? Yeah. He was the big free agent signing of a regime that's no longer here, but right now he's the most productive player, right?
Hey, that's something.
So how do you build your leadership around? Now, obviously, I agree with Mark with Tom Thibodeau being a leader, right? But on the court, if Randall's your most impactful player, I'm not talking about in just terms of points, because the way Randall's playing is what we all asked for. Actually, and salute to Anuti 25, salute to me, welcome. Sherman Nev, salute. The way that Randall's playing is actually what we wanted in the so-called point forward when Fizzo's trying to make him that. He's playing like that. He's the most impactful in terms of facilitation, getting the ball around to people, set up the offense. But again, he's on a contract year. How do you galvanize guys to say, yeah, it's Randall, even though he's kind of in a lame duck situation right now?
Yeah, and that's the crazy thing, because he could easily be gone next year. And how are you gonna say, well, I'm gonna make this guy the captain, but then you don't keep him? What kind of mess that's that? Exactly. So it's got to be somebody else. Dare I say Quickly?
Oh, come on!
I know he's young and come on. Well, I'll say this: his demeanor and play on the floor shows that of a captain. The way he, is really rare to see a point guard that's a rookie come in and talking to veterans the way he's talking to them, and even going over to have the wherewithal to go talk to the refs, pointing out stuff. And see, that's the kind of stuff I would like to see from Mitch. And I meant to tell you that the other night, Guillermo. I thought about this. What he needs to do before this game tonight is go talk to the refs and say, hey, look, I have my positioning, but I'm getting dislodged. Because offensive players shouldn't be allowed to knock players out of their space. You know what I mean? There's a give and take with that. And Drummond gonna try to abuse him. He need to go talk to the refs and be like, "Hey, take a look at what's going on now. Take a look." He need to do that. I want to see that progression in this game. But
one thing they have to learn, though, and this is why I like that Quickly does. So Quickly is like an old soul, like an old player, young kid. Like I said, when I did the video with him, right, and I think because you point out too, the drawing the foul thing. Right, when he knows he doesn't have leverage, but he saw that Sexton was reaching over with his hands, which is a big no-no. He saw the contact. He said, "Oh, he pulled the whole. Oh, I got hurt." That's a high-level veteran. I don't care what no one says. Right? I've seen AD do it. I've seen a lot of young players do a lot of dynamic players do it at a successful rate. I've seen AD do it, Harden do it. They punish him with that, right? And he did it. Another thing that Quickly does that he talks to the refs. Now, one thing I don't like is also how you move on the court, right? When Mitchell Robinson gets a foul, you see him kind of,
no. Yeah, you can't do that.
Right. The refs are, and unfortunately, you have to be a diplomat with some of these refs, right? You got to show them like, hey, I'm not going to sit and berate you, man. Hey, you just see this. I know you're doing your job, but can you just see this? They kind of doing this such and such to me, blah, blah, blah. They may not give you that call. Obviously, not going to give you the call. They already called it.
Exactly.
They might give you the next call.
And that's what you call IQ. That's what you call IQ. No pun intended.
And no pun intended. That's what you call IQ.
Yeah.
We have a lot of low IQ players where I've seen it. I'm telling you, there's no diss to nobody, man. If you played the game, I think this is what I like. People say we don't have talent, but talent also, you can say high IQ players. That's a talent, right? And a lot of these guys are playing in college. Quickly's played in college. Knox has played in college. A lot of these guys play. How's it know how to basically work the refs? That means you've been babied your whole life, that you don't know how to basically work the system, where you know that these guys, they're emotional. You know, on certain nights, I can't be too hands-on. You know, on certain nights, I can play a little bit aggressive. I know on certain nights, all right, this guy, he woke up on the wrong side of bed. I got to play him a certain way.
Exactly. And you know that's what you call being a professional, man. You got to take into context everything. And some of these guys think that, just my athleticism is what's going to keep me in the league. No, you have to be aware. You have to be smart. You got to do the little things. You got to watch tape. You got to watch tape on the guy that's defending you. Find out his tendencies, his weakness. You got to do all that stuff, man. You got to even do film. I wonder how many of these guys do film on the coach to find out what the coach is calling for the other team, or waiting for Tibbs and them to start telling them stuff. You know what I mean? All that's a part of being a professional, and that's what separates the great players from the good players, and the good players from the trash players. Is your ability and your willingness to work. And like I said, and we all know in sports, Guillermo, when it comes to winning, it ain't always the athletic team that wins. Oh. But boy, I'm gonna tell you, it's the smart ones. It's the smart ones.
Why do you think Popovich is so successful? Because he instills high IQ play on the court. He was doing it in the 2000s when you had brute teams like the Lakers. Now, obviously, it was back and forth. And it's weird because like the Spurs, I mean, they get respect from basketball. It's like they're one of the forgotten dynasties. Like no one sees them as no one puts them with the Lakers, no one puts them up with the Bulls, because they didn't have the flashiest players, right? They didn't have the best player on. Well, you could argue Tim Duncan was arguably
Tim Duncan and David Robinson was,
right. He was in a highlight reel. Kobe was a highlight reel. Shaq were highlight reels. Those guys. I mean, Jordan highlight reels. You know what I mean? Highlight reel every night. And a lot of that play came from high IQ play. Ginobili gets drafted to another team. He's not having that semi. Is he in the Hall of Fame? He's probably going to get in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I think he's going to get in. He got what, 3, 4 rings?
He's not looking the way he did with another team, without a coach who doesn't trust him or trusts his IQ and his style of play. It's just not happening. So again, man, the IQ on this team has to go up exponentially, right? I know people talk about the coach, but Knox on these guys, I'm seeing things by Knox I like. I need to see more of it. Defensively, I think he did great against Chris Middleton. How he played him was perfect. The way he attacked when Giannis attacked the basket, he came out and helped. I'm not sure if he blocked the shot, but he was disrupting the guy. You know what I mean? High IQ play. I gotta see it from Knox. First and foremost, gotta say this. Salute to Theo Flett. Salute to Theo Flett. By the way, I've missed somebody else. But real quick, again, everybody knows that Sim got screwed over
again.
No, just the second time.
This is the same situation?
Same situation. So he's out. This is second strike. He's out for a few weeks. I think early January is when he's going to come back. So, guys, please, I think he's having a show at 3:30. I'm going to still be going on just because the Manchester United game is going on. I'm just talking about ish. But, guys, you can open up 2 browsers. It's easy as hell. Salute to Sim. Please support the channel. Go to Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and more importantly, Sportscast. That's where he's going to have the show. So, please go subscribe. Go support the dude, and obviously supporting me when he comes back on YouTube. But all the fam that's here, all you guys are ready to be MBK man. Those who haven't, please go subscribe to those platforms. Again, Sportscast
on Facebook.
Facebook, yeah, Facebook, Twitter, and Sportscaster.
I don't know. Facebook messed me up the other day, man. I don't know what happened. Like I set my, you know how you do your multiple destinations for where you want your stream to go through, and I had the time set, and I know. I did not, start my show late. I started it on time. I'm big on time, man. And I hit the time button. For some reason, now I'm trying to send stuff to Facebook. They're telling me talking about my stuff has been suspended. Yeah. They told me something about like I'm on restriction or something with them.
Sorry. Facebook or YouTube? Facebook, you said,
Facebook.
Right?
Facebook.
Dude,
Facebook,
these guys,
man.
terms of services, man, guys, please be careful. They're changing up the terms of services every other day. People like normal content creators don't know what's happening. They have corporations now that they're basically trying to cater to. And you see it. They'll have people that come out of nowhere who have millions of subscribers. You're like, I've never heard this person. That's because they're connected with these corporations. So again, because people aren't paying for cable anymore, now they're coming to YouTube where a lot of the organic content creators are now suffering. So please, guys, support us. Support your man, Ron Cleveland. Man. It's a Knicks, Lawrence Tear. Support my channel, Legion Knicks. Please hit the likes as you come in. Sub to the channel if you haven't. Subscribe to Nothing But Knicks, man. They're trying to screw us over, man. But as long as we have you guys, we have you fans, man. We could possibly, if we move over to other platforms, have you guys come over, keep the same fan base, still survive on YouTube. So please support us. Someone just said,
hey, Theo,
he's seen you get smoked by Chuck earlier.
You better drink some coffee and wake up, because that wasn't no smoking. Hey, that guy changed the narrative so much. He changed the narrative so much, and he tried. And my main thing was with him, as I talked about that 12 points. I know he said out his mouth that Frank wasn't going to score 12 points. He said 20. I know he said 12. And when I find I'm gonna dig. Matter of fact, I might not even come on tonight. Matter of fact, I won't. I'm gonna be digging in the cribs, and when I find it, I'm gonna have them receipts for him, and I'm gonna show him.
Yo, what up, man? Yo, let's ask about this, man. What are your expectations on Knox this season, man? Because we go into this draft next season, bro. There are a lot of wings that I think would come in, and they might be on a faster track than Knox. Give me a number that Knox will have to have average this year that will convince you that we do not need a draft as replacement.
17.
Let me start with Joe because Joe just came back.
I'd probably say because of last year was such a slump, and then he's coming off the bench, I would say 12-5. I think he could get a little bit more once his shot starts to drop, and if he gets more minutes. I think the writing's on the wall for Bullock, and I think the next man up, unless they move RJ to the 3 and put Burks to the 2, I think the next man up is Knox if he keeps playing the way he's playing, especially on defense. His defense is my main priority. If he keeps playing the D, the shots will eventually start to drop. And as long as he shows the same aggression where he can go to the basket 3 or 4 times, try and go to the basket 3 or 4 times a night.
So let me ask you this, man. If you had a chance, right? Say we our first pick got us like a Jalen Suggs or something like that, right? Which I happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then say after that, Scotty Barnes is available, right? 6'9" power forward, could play. I don't think he's not a good shooter yet. From the games I've seen, but
he reminds me a lot of Patrick Williams. He has a crazy upside. He needs to put it all together.
Right, but he's a
4, so I wouldn't really.
He's anti-Knox. He's anti-Knox. When you watch Florida State, he plays like he wants it. Like he wants to kill people on the court. You know what I mean? If you had him, or if you had Jonathan Kuminga, you know what I'm saying?
Jonathan Kuminga's nice, and he can hit the 3. So I like him, but I like him. But the thing about Kuminga, he's going to be the same boat as Jalen Green. He might drop because there's not enough of footage, which I'd love. I love if that Dallas pick gets to top 10 and Kuminga or Green drop, and we could get like Suggs and Kuminga, or Suggs and Green, or Cade and Green, or Cade and Kuminga,
and so in that case you're moving on from Knox.
No, Knox can still come off the bench. I'm not giving up on Knox. Knox doesn't have to be this 20-point score because he was the 8th pick or the 9th pick. You could still use him coming off the bench, especially if he's playing that type of defense. You can still use Knox. It's not like, because he can't start, we get rid of him.
He's going to have to play defense. It
ain't. Whoa. When I'm talking about with Knox, I'm not saying because we have to discern whether Knox is going to be, like you said, or like you're alluding to, if he's going to be on the bench or if he's a starter. I'm saying, would you use that draft pick on another wing, thinking that not saying you move on from Knox, like you can't be on the team, but that you're drafting another wing versus made strides to say we don't need to draft another wing. We're good in that area.
That's what we need is a point guard and a small forward. So that's what I'd be looking to do. If we get a wing with the first pick, I get a point guard with the second. But I'm looking at the draft. It's like all the top point guards is Cade and Suggs, and then the rest are all wings. The one wing I don't trust is BJ Boston. He looks to me like Kevin Knox 2.0.
Yeah, he's streaky.
When I watch BJ Boston, he's not okay. I'll say this. I think talent-wise, right? I think he can drive to the basket. I think Knox was see the thing about it. They geared the offense more when Knox was there versus when with BJ Boston because they just honest to God they really don't. I don't think they run much for him. They just allow him.
And they're using him at the 2 when he should be a 3 because he's what 6'7". They're playing him like they played Knox. Knox was at the 2 when he was in Kentucky when he should be naturally a 3 or a 4.
Right. And BJ Boston, he scares me because he's a guy that if he gets the right coaching, right, it'll take him 2 years. He might it sounds like I'm saying Knox, but I think he'd be way better than Knox. Like if he gets
Kentucky altogether looks like they're dropping, and to me that looks it's pointing at they lost Kenny Payne. So to me that's saying a lot that Kenny Payne was a massive part of that Kentucky team. Kentucky team, like Terrence Clark isn't playing well. Isaiah Jackson was supposed to be a late first rounder. He's starting to drop off to second rounder. There's like all these guys are starting to drop out of Kentucky.
Yeah, they have a lot of talent that doesn't complement each other. That's the problem with that team because they don't have shooters on that team.
No,
you watch that team,
their best shooter is BJ Boston, and he's only shooting like 35%.
Right. Yeah, I'm telling. But if he goes to the right coach.
Yeah, I wouldn't try and take if he's there and he's the best option available with the second pick, then I take him. But I wouldn't go out of my way to try and get him because we already have Knox and it's the same type of player to come out of the same college. It's more or less it's repeating Knox and being like, oh, crazy upside, but can we get it out of him?
We need to be trying to go to Villanova and get some players.
To me, perfect scenario is we get a top 3 pick, we take Cade or Suggs, and then in around 10, if we have like 10, 12, and we can get another pick with a trade or something, we move back up to the lottery. I'm looking at like Jalen Green or Jalen Johnson out of Duke. He's nice, but same thing with Jalen Johnson. He's looking to me like a little bit of a not a bust, but some of these guys are dropping.
You got guys like Zaire Williams, who I don't know. I'm not really a fan of him as much.
He can shoot. That's his shooting ain't bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I watched a few games. I just wasn't convinced. Looked a little slow in a game he played. He plays at Stanford. For anybody who doesn't know.
Yeah, he plays at Stanford.
I did see a few highlights from Jalen Johnson. You also got Moses Moody. Who's another name, shooting guard from Arkansas.
Realistically, I got Josh Christopher. I'd like him out of Arizona.
He lost to UTEP the other night, but this dude still put up 20-some points.
Not a great shooter, but he's an all-out scorer.
Whoa! What are you talking about?
He can shoot, but he's not straight. His mid-range is nice. His 3 isn't there yet. He needs a little bit of work on his 3. To me, he reminds me he's kind of like an RJ. A little bit too much. Just an all-out scorer.
His form is a lot better than RJ.
His form is a little bit better. Hopefully he can get it. The thing that scares me, though, if he starts knocking down threes, he's going to climb up that board, and he could be in the top 10 easily.
Dude, the kid, bro. But let me ask you this. Since we're talking about potential, are we convinced by RJ that, say, if a Josh Christopher comes up and he kills it, not to say we don't still would build RJ. Obviously, he could be another player, but you're going to put RJ at the 3 where he's a little bit less effective. Do you draft for that 2 spot if a dynamic player like Josh Christopher comes up?
I'm telling you right. There's 2 guys if they're sitting there available for the 2 spot that I think about, and that'd be Jalen Green and Josh Christopher. That's the 2. If they're there, you have to take them because you don't. When you're a Knicks team, you don't draft for position. You draft for best available. You're not in a position to pass up talent because of position. You draft it and you figure it out.
Yeah, I agree. You got to draft who's the best available at
best talent.
That point in time.
And I'm really convinced that Dallas don't look that good. They were against the Clippers. They balled out. I think they overachieved.
That was an outlier.
That was an outlier, especially they didn't have Kawhi playing, and the Clippers didn't look good. It was a bad night for them. But I do think Dallas, the way they're overworking Luka, I don't want to say he's going to get hurt, but I'm just saying he might miss games where them games are going to be lost. Not even load management, just like small little injuries because they're overworking him that They might have to take him off for a couple of games. Them games are losses. I do see the Dallas pick being in the top 15.
And let me just say this real quick, man. Salute to Little Tweaky White. I don't know if that's cocaine. Little Tweaky White, Gregory Castillo. Salute your names in these chat. That's ridiculous. Ant Wayne McNeil. Salute to Ant Wayne McNeil. Ismail Rivas, salute to you, man. Another guy that comes up. We were just talking about him because I'm mixed on this guy as a draft talent, Evan Mobley, right? Is that a guy we draft if you have the first? If Jalen Green, those guys are not there, they're not available. That you take an Evan Mobley who can give you that outside scoring option that Mitch and all these other guys haven't been able to. Oh, and Quinn Williams. Salute to Quinn Williams, by the way, too, man. Is that a guy you look at? Let me go to Ron with that, man.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna buy out of that. I ain't told you I ain't been watching no college right now. I ain't really paying no attention to it, so I ain't gonna comment on something I don't know about.
Well, no, fair enough. But is Mitchell Robinson, if you have a center, we just space the floor, right? High level,
yeah.
Floor. Is it time to start considering moving on from Mitchell Robinson? Because are you paying Mitchell Robinson $60-70 million? I'm not.
He ain't gonna command that kind of money. I think they said he couldn't get no more than $45 million. And then even 45 is rough.
I wouldn't trade Mitch. I could use him as a backup and try and trade picks to go up and get Mobley and have both of them.
What you do with Mitch is you if you're gonna go the route of getting a center,
that's the thing. Mobley shooting 45% from three.
You keep Mitch, you move him to the backup and allow him to continue to develop. And if his game get to a point where, hey, he become an asset to you, hey, you might be able to move him for something else, or it's a win-win for the team. You know what I mean? He'll benefit the roster.
But look, what I was thinking too was what Mobley, like he needs to put on size for his rebounding, but his shooting, man, he's shooting nearly 45% from like 3 or 4 threes a game. To me, imagine a lineup having Suggs, Arcade, RJ. I don't know who you put at the 3, OB and Mobley, or OB and Mobley. That's all. That's shooting.
College basketball.
That's just shooting team. That's what you need in today's NBA. Like Mobley just needs to put on the size. But once he puts on the size, and the kid just turned 18, so he has time to put on the size. He puts the size on over the next 2 years and has that shooting. That's a proper stretch 5 with Obi can shoot. We've seen that he can shoot. He just needs to lower the shooting amount of the amount of shots he takes, but he can shoot.
Someone made a good point yesterday about Mitch, that he's not being involved as much in the offense with like the pick and roll and stuff, right? And that just made me think, is like, well, if he can't be involved in the pick and roll, what is his actual value on the team?
Put back, rebound, block shot.
Where's the offensive upside with him if you can't get him in the basic pick and roll? Like he's suffering from the lack of ability, right? He can't shoot. I'm not calling him a bust. I'm not calling him a bust at all. But damn, we have to start thinking for the future. Obviously, no one was a 1 year.
You can keep him for
we got Mitch for a second round.
Yeah, you could keep him as a backup, and so you still get value out of him for a second round.
No. I agree with that, but again, we want a starting center as well too, right? Yeah. So do you draft for that? Do you sign for that? Now, obviously, everybody was talking about Christian Wood. Christian Wood, his first game, put up like 31 points.
He balled.
Again, that's whatever, but he does add an element from the perimeter that Mitch Robinson may never add for the Knicks.
Same with Mobley. Mobley shoots lights out.
Well, I tell you what, in the business of sports, they're always looking to see who they can replace. That's the job of the front office guys, to find out who they might need to get out of here. You know what I mean? And if they find somebody that can play better than you, you're gonna be up out of here. You know?
To me, what I would do if that Mavs pick, say the team isn't doing well this year, like projected, and you come around the deadline and Randall's balling out, you can get a mid to late first rounder for him. I package Mitch, the Mavs pick, and that Randall pick to go back up into the top 10 and try and grab Mobley. And maybe if you have to throw another second into it to get Mobley. And I'll tell you what, Mobley needs a bit of work on his rebound and his size, but him being able to stretch the floor makes RJ 10 times better, because then you have a stretch 4 in Obi who can shoot, and you have a stretch 5 in Mobley that can shoot. So that opens up the whole floor for RJ. And then if you get Suggs or Cade with your top whatever pick, if this is just hypothetical, then you have a lot of shooting, and you make RJ 10 times better because we're in the NBA now with the more spacing, the more better.
Yeah, and Mitch.
I don't know if that's a lot to give up.
I would love to see him start taking shots, man.
But the thing is, he needs to bring in a post game. He needs to
giving them up.
Yeah, no, but it's not even. I don't want him taking them. I don't want him taking them shots yet. I want him to develop a post game, an inside game, in the first 2 years, in the next year, and then by next year start stretching it out. I don't want him going from dunks to shooting threes.
Oh no, I want a mid-range.
Yeah, I want a mid-range. I want a hook. I want just something inside that is other than an alley-oop. Because you could see teams already are cutting off. How many alley-oops have we had this year between Obi and Mitch? Because they're cutting them off. I think Obi's had one in the preseason.
Yeah.
And then Mitch, I think, had like one or two maybe in the regular season, which isn't a lot. Teams are cutting off the alley-oop.
Yeah. Mitch
had one when Giannis was off the floor.
He had 5 jump shots last year. And the kid is just – he's just I don't know. It's going to take a lot with him because – he's not being able to space the floor. And again, the NBA is moving to that. If you look at his offensive effectiveness, outside of rebounding, clean up the boards, the occasional pick and roll, he's just – and salute to Don McKay, Pedro Matos, salute Triborough, salute, bro. D-Chan, I think I missed before. Salute.
But guys, would you, if that Mavs pick is, say, in the middle, like where I'm projecting to be like 15 to 20 or maybe 10 to 20, do you package it in Mitch and maybe a second round or two to go up and get Mobley? Because of that shooting, and he can put on the size. Because he's 7 foot. He just needs to put size on.
Yes, I do not.
So you're talking about a center that's 7 foot that can shoot?
He's 7 foot that can shoot. He just needs to put size on. That's the only problem. So you can give him a year or two of size.
You can find rim runners in the NBA. You can find guys who can protect the rim in the NBA for cheap. So again, as much as I think Mitch may have some upside, right? He still hasn't proven that he's even close to reaching that. So that means I get a guy like Evan Mobley who has a discernible talent to space out from the perimeter as a big man, which is where the NBA is going. Yeah, I'm making that trade up, man.
Yeah, because I wouldn't use that first pick, like our pick, if it's a top 5 pick on Mobley. I try and trade up to get Mobley if he falls.
Right.
Or I try and move up for him because that first pick to me, guarantee has to be a point guard unless we slip in the draft to like 8. Our pick is like 8 or 9. Then you go wing because there's no other point guards. But to me, if it's a top 5 pick, you got to pick Cade or Suggs or a point guard in that position because that's our main need.
Mm-hmm.
Or then I use the Mavs pick, and if we get a pick for Randall, if we do move him and some other assets to move up and get Mobley. I nearly give up the whole roster to go up and get Mobley because we really just would have because Mobley to me, man. And they said he's never had injuries yet. Problem is we've had history with 7-footers that try to play like a guard, like Mobley tries to do. That's the only thing that kind of has. But I would try and move like a Randall pick, the Mavs pick, and then like Mitch or something to move up and get Mobley because Mobley's scoring like 22 a game and he's shooting 45% from 3.
That's your center.
Let me ask Ron a question. I know what his answer is, and I guess I'll go to you too, Joe. Are you going after Drummond next year?
If we can't go up and get Mobley, maybe.
Depends on how much.
Depends on the price.
It depends on the price.
What are you paying him? What are you paying Drummond?
I pay him 22, 23, but I ain't going above 25.
And so, hold up. Salute to, I can't pronounce his name. This is a crazy name.
Because you're getting 20 points and double-digit rebounds.
Salute to Luke Walker.
Visions.
Luke Walker Visions, man. That's a crazy name.
For Drummond, I wouldn't go no more than 3 years, maybe 35, 40. I would give him 40 before I give Mitch 40. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, definitely. Because
40, 3 years, 35, 40. That's what. Oh my freaking!
I give him 3 years, 65. Because you know what you're getting. You're getting scoring and you're getting 13, 14 rebounds. That's a guarantee from him. We've seen it his whole career. College, NBA, we've seen it.
That's Mitch is up and down. Somewhere there, 11 point something million. A year?
To me, if I go, if it's 3 years, 65. So that's what, like 20, 21, 22.
How old is Drummond? How old is Drummond?
Drummond's like only like 26, 27, I think.
Is he 26?
Because he came out in like 2015, I think.
Seems like he should be in his 30s. But now, he's been playing forever.
Stephen Fox said, I got to watch Sandro Mamu from Seton Hall, 6'11" with skills. I got to check him out, man. Thank you for putting me on. And Thesis Thomas, what up to Thesis Thomas, man?
Yeah.
Donald Campbell.
We got to think of, we also got to think about that kid that no one's talking about either, Kai Soto, or the G League. 7'4" that can shoot. He's 7'4" with like a 7'6" wingspan, can shoot. He's supposed to be mocked to go in the early second round, but he's going to start climbing. Well, you never know with the G League because he's playing with Jalen Green and with Kuminga and them guys.
Yeah, he's 27.
He's 27. Yeah, it's not bad. I take him because he's still in his prime.
And he'll be, by the time the season starts next year, he'll be 28. His birthday in August.
Oh yeah, Drummond is limited. He's not the best of defense. I mean, all he is basically that type of presence down low. But yeah, he's very limited. I've watched Drummond enough.
But he got you way more production. You're getting 20 and 10 out of him at least every night.
Yeah, but you have to dump it down to him, right? He's not a guy like, not say he's disruptive, but I mean, there are other guys like him similar too, right? Vucevic is kind of the same way, but do you want to go back to that? Are you just want to dump it down to
archaic?
The problem with getting Drummond though is he's occupied. If you have him and Obi on the floor, that's why I want to stretch 5 because Obi you can interchange in and out. Because the way we're looking at when Randall's in the game at the center or if Mitch is in the game, Obi's out in the perimeter because Mitch or Randall's occupying his spot. He was dominating in college because he was the main man in the paint. Now they have to move him out because Mitch can't space the floor. That's why I like the likes of Evan Mobley or even making a trade for a big man that can shoot because it makes Obi better because then Obi can go in, the big man can go out, and they can keep swapping because both of them can shoot. That's my problem because I don't think Obi is going to be very good with Mitch because he's playing around the perimeter.
Let me ask something on Obi. Do you keep now, again, because people try to make the argument that if Randall keeps this up, even if we, that you don't trade Randall. Right. Despite the fact that not say they drafted him directly or purposely to be the replacement, but you drafted a kid BPA because you believe in him. Obviously he has a connection.
He's best available.
Right. So are we how do you keep Randall on a team as a backup if he's the most impactful player while trying to give Obi time to develop? And Joe, you have a lot of things ruffling in the back, but
sorry. Chuck Tubbard, the champ is here.
Chuck is here? Oh, yeah. Chuck, come home. Come home, Chuck.
I was going to put an Amber Alert out for Chuck.
Come home, Chuck. Everybody give a round of applause to Chuck's corpse. He'll be coming in the building, hopefully, to get mollywopped and destroyed again. So please, Chuck, whenever you want to experience death again, death is certain, please come in here. The champ is here. The Brooklyn Brawler of WWF is here. Chuck, Coach Color Blocks, if you want to come up here and have your way with Chuck again, please, you're more than welcome. Stacey Hickman, salute to you. She said we could trade him next year at the trade deadline. That's true. You can pick it.
And that way you give Obi some more time to get seasoned.
Now let me ask you this about Randall, because again, I've seen a bunch of guys who played well in their contract years fall off after it, right? Do you think that if you pick up the option with Randall, given how he's playing now, that he would be pissed that you didn't allow him to go and get a bigger contract from somewhere else? Do you think that he might be a malcontent on the bench if you just bring him here and the whole plan is to have him have Obi transition into his position? Do you think that Randall's still going to be playing the same way if he got less minutes?
I think he'll still play the same way because the only thing you're doing is picking up that option. You didn't extend him. He's still basically on a 1-year deal. So it's no incentive for him to take nights off or feel like he's slighted or anyway, because at the end of the day, we know sports is a business, man. It don't make dollars, it don't make sense. The move don't make no sense, the team ain't making it. So Randall just gonna have to be the good soldier, do what he been doing, and let the chips fall where they may, you heard me? So
hold on, what happened to your finger, bro?
What champ?
The champ
what happened to your finger, bro? People were singing Swords on You that badly, bro?
No.
Look at him. He gave away Knicks He can't wear Knicks again with pride. He's in a Rams hat.
Too many Steve Austins.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
I thought that was a Nets jersey.
Yeah, so did I.
The champ is here.
You ain't no champ, man. You changed that narrative, man.
That looks like a Juventus jersey.
I'm gonna find them receipts on you, man.
It's a Juventus basketball jersey.
I'm coming for my crown, man. I'm gonna find them receipts. I'm gonna find them receipts, Chuck, and I'm coming for my crown, man.
You can't have it. I got a new smoking jacket. I ain't even gonna wear it yet. I'm gonna break out my smoking jacket with. Let
me ask Chuck this, because I didn't see the morning episode. Like I woke up so, and I think I commented. What were you talking about with DSJ now? Now DSJ's not your guy anymore, right?
It was straight smoke. It was one off five.
Please, Ron, explain to me. What was the argument with DSJ? Because I can check.
It wasn't but DSJ. My whole thing was I was talking to him about Frank. Because I know he said Frank wasn't going to get no 12 points. Because we talked about a lot with Frank, and I know you did. Your boy Freezy just backed you up saying that he remember you saying about the 20 points.
No, I said 12.
I know it was 12. When I find it, Chuck, I'm gonna have to bring you back to reality.
Because what kind of random number is that? Oh, he won't.
That ain't random. Because you know why it wasn't random? Because we was like Frank averaged 6 a game. That's what the conversation. Frank averaged 6, and I said I'm looking for him to get me 12. He gonna double it. That's what I felt like.
Oh, you said average 12. I bet that.
I said he was going to double. I said he was going to double. He was going to double. Because we was talking about his average.
Okay, yeah, he can't average 12. All right, I'm with that.
So yeah, I knew.
I'm with that. I'm with all that.
That was my thing. That's the whole reason why I was looking for you, because I was like, when I saw him hit that 12, I said, okay,
I am found. I am found. Now what?
Hey, that's all I wanted.
Now what?
And you did exactly what I wanted. You admitted, hey. Because that's why I was getting on you. I like you gotta admit when the man playing better. And then I went back and I saw the video. Frank shot a 3 right in the face of my homeboy from Charleston. Right in his face, right in his grill. You said he was shooting wide open.
All right, first of all, stop rocking back and forth. You're gonna have a seizure. Now check this out. When you said 12 points, I'm talking about average 12. You said average. You didn't say get 12.
I said he gonna score 12 points in the game.
You did not.
12 points. I said he gonna score. You said he won't ever score 12.
Just call it out now. What is Frank?
He gonna average 12. He gonna average 12 this season. Let's say that. I'm gonna and if he don't average 12, I'm gonna eat pro. But I think he gonna average 12 this year.
What is Frank producing tonight? Let's cut to the chase, man. What is Frank getting tonight?
Tonight, I think he gonna hit another 12, maybe even 15. But I'm going with 12. I'm gonna
Ron got 12. What do you got, Chuck?
7 and 6, 7.6 fouls.
You're so disrespectful.
And he
that's what I'm saying, man. He 7 and 6 fouls, right? Yeah. 7.6 fouls. Yeah. What will you do? Asuta Pororo, Penguin, Chris O, and Coach Colorblocks, man, please come up here so we can swipe up the Chuck. I don't like all this beef on the ground, bro. This is a butcher shot right here, bro.
I'm gonna tell you why he gonna get 12 tonight.
All right,
because he gonna have the most minutes that he's had since in a long time. And so
Burks is out, by the way. You know that, right, Chuck? Burks is out.
Burks is out, and his man DSJ is out. Who else is out?
7 and 6. Everybody hears this on Legion of Knicks before Chuck says he never said this. Because we all know Chuck does not stick to his argument. He said Frank is giving you 7 points and 6 fouls. Ron got him at 12, maybe 15, but Chuck says 7 and 6 fouls.
I'm looking at 12, a solid 12 tonight.
Hold up, you said 12 or 15?
I'm looking at a solid 12, but I won't be surprised if he hit 15 tonight. I think he's gonna hit another 12 tonight.
You can't be changing it. I'm sticking.
Yeah, I'm going 12. I'm gonna stay at 12.
Jonathan Hernandez, salute.
And I'm gonna go on record. That's what he's gonna average for the whole year. 12 points.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. Do that.
So we're gonna have revisionist history at the end of the season. Then we're gonna
hold up, Chuck, let me know, what is DSJ averaging this season, bro?
A 0.
I have no idea. But what I want to do is
13 points to 9 and 4. Now you don't have no idea. You see, you're losing, Chuck. Your boy.
Well,
DSJ
he's not playing. He's not playing.
Hey, but you know, man, you're the same one that said that Frank is always getting hurt. You complain about that. I remember you said
DSJ been hurt ever since he got here.
You said that, bro.
Freezy said that. Why y'all keep?
You said that too.
I don't keep. No. The difference between me and Freezy said the best ability is availability, and Frank always seemed to get hurt during the big games. This is what Freezy said.
I remember Freezy saying that right? Frank always hurt when it's time for competition for his position. I remember him bringing that up. I agreed with it.
Yeah, that's not my stance. No, that's not my stance. My stance is whether he's hurt or healthy, he's terrible. He stinks. It doesn't matter if he's.
I tell you what, Chuck, did you watch that whole game?
No.
With Frank out there, I'm gonna tell you that was Frank's best game in the Knicks uniform, and I ain't saying it because of the points. He was more aggressive. Period. Like even the dribbling ability, because we all know Frank ain't the best dribbler, but I saw him that last game. He was keeping his dribble. You know, Frank known for giving that thing up quick. I saw him a few times in that game, kept his dribble, and I was like, oh, he changing a little bit. So hey, pressure bust pipe all day and night, and Tom, we know Tom on his back, so he gonna have to show up, man.
Can I give you another bet that your boy said? He thinks Obi Toppin is going to be a draft bust.
Who said that?
What is everybody? Chuck thinks Obi's going to be a draft bust. He said he's seen it before.
I didn't say that.
Oh, I thought you said that. You said that Obi's going to be a bust.
No, I didn't say bust. No.
He got some work to do. He got some work to do.
No.
I just want you said it. My bad, Chuck. I mean, I ain't trying to worry about that.
Obi just got some work to do, and the staff got to know how they're going to use him. That's my biggest. My biggest concern right now with Obi is that we're not using him right. Letting him sit on the perimeter shooting threes.
What I said about Obi is, I first of all, I predicted 13-7, right? 13-7 for Obi, career numbers. And what I said about him was his base, his knocks. He got Knox knees, them little dare knees, Bambi. He got Bambi knees, so he cannot play in the post with those. So he's going to have to face up and try to go by you, right? So what happened?
That's a good one. Go ahead.
Yeah. So he's not a stretch four, right? So his options are limited. So he's not a stretch four, and he's not a post player. So he's going to have to rely on.
Yeah, I think they're trying to get him to shoot more shots, play on the perimeter, play the pick and pop, which I don't think is necessarily a bad thing. I mean, you have to develop certain parts of your game, right? To work on your weaknesses to strengthen them. But like, why not do that his rookie year? You know what I'm saying? So again, to say that he's not going to be out for the rest of his career.
Oh, what?
That's
hey, I am the prophet. You come to me if you want to know how these.
Shawn Marion, and you didn't watch Shawn Marion. Shawn Marion was an excellent on-ball defender, which I don't think Obi's going to be. And Shawn Marion can hit the three. I don't know what he did in college, but he was able to hit the three relatively well with Suns teams. So you're not the prophet. You are the false prophet. You're not. You're like my. You're that malfunctioning, ball-headed, weird prophet thing that was giving out wrong predictions, and now the government got to hide your mistakes. You've been wrong, bro. You've been getting killed. Everybody knows you, Chuck. It's Chuck Pete. We eat as a burger, bro. You're done. You have not been right on mostly anything.
So tell me your prediction for what's your prediction for DSJ for the season? What is 0. He going to do? That's what I want to know.
Exactly. He went from 15 points and 9-4 to 0 now. DSJ is for me. Oh, another one that Chuck had. How's your boy Kara Lewis doing? Is he even getting minutes?
He's playing behind two good guards. Like,
oh, nice.
So like they're on he's on a much better team. My point is, if Kara Lewis was on the Knicks, he would get minutes. Facts. He would get minutes on the Knicks. But he's playing behind two big guards over there. It's opportunity, man. It's all about opportunity.
And that's why, really, when we talk about you with that one, when you do this, I believe now is Frank's last. It's like custom, because he's in the best situation again to try to do something and build his value with this team. All these guys are out. If he don't do it this time, man, he's gonna be done, man. I hate to say it, but I'm looking for 12 because I think that game with the Bucks, man, I think that gave all them guys confidence, man. And Knox, most importantly, what I saw from him in that game, like I said, I ain't concerned about his shooting because we know he can shoot. I want to see what he's going to do defensively, and that Joker was locked in the whole time defensively, and I was shocked by that. I'm still in disbelief of what I saw in that game with Knox.
Someone said Chuck is Josh or Vitiligo.
Who's Josh?
You don't know Josh? That's your half brother, bro. Y'all both trolls with terrible points, man. You don't know who Josh is?
Josh.
He talks really fast. Talks really fast. He's a Navy dude. He's always like centering the camera, like I don't know if we can describe Josh. Black, I guess. I don't know. But you see him. Y'all both trolls. So any other predictions on your end, Chuck? Because I didn't see the morning show, but
okay, quickly 13-7 for his career. No post game ever. Face up and go ever. Face up and go by you. And you know how hard it is to build a base? Your body usually by 22, your body's what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree.
So he's not gonna turn into Barkley down there. So he's gonna rely on the face up. Everything is gonna be face up. And without the stretch four part, he's very limited. So 7 might be a stretch, but I'm gonna give him 7. 13 ain't a stretch. Frank is gonna average maybe 4.
7 and 6.
I'm gonna give Frank 4, 1 and 1.
What'd you giving him for this year?
4, 1 and 1.
4, 1 and 1 this year?
Yeah.
That's what he gonna average this season?
Yeah.
Okay. Remember this, Guillermo. Remember this. Hey, everybody, y'all remember this.
4, 1 and 1.
It don't make it so easy for me to beat you at the end of the season, Chuck, man. You need to bring your stuff up, man. Don't make it so easy.
Trolls, bro.
Hey,
said 4, 1 and 1.
My 4 is gonna be much closer than your 12. You can bet that. How about that?
We'll see.
If Frank
you still ain't tell me what DSJ gonna do though.
Bet that live.
You still ain't tell me what DSJ gonna do. I'm waiting on
that. DSJ, he said he doesn't know.
I don't think he's gonna play much. I'd have nothing for him. I don't think he's gonna play. What I give you is honesty, right?
I think he's gonna get traded. I think he's gonna get traded. Him and Bullock, they're gonna be on the first thing smoking.
I give you honesty. You give me somebody who plays, I give you their numbers.
RJ, what do you think RJ gonna do this season?
That's a good one, RJ.
Because he right now, I'm like I said, I'm keeping my eyes on him because we need to find out about him.
All right, I'm the RJ whisperer. I told you when he struggles, right? I told you he struggles against bigger guys or guys as strong as him.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
He played bully ball.
You could have seen that from his stats. They had articles talking about how he did better at the 2 versus a 3. So you ain't no prophet.
No. I predicted that from Duke.
Hey Chuck, you need to change your last name to Smith.
No, hold up.
They call you Charles Smith.
No, it's basically the same concept as Obi. Obi dominated at 22 years old. He dominated teenagers, right? He was overpowering them.
Right.
He come to the NBA. His power is nullified. It's like a welterweight moving up to heavyweight. They don't feel those punches no more.
Yeah, everybody on the same level.
Yeah, Obi ain't hitting the same. He ain't just powering and dunking over people. That's not happening no more. Oh, secret Frank friend. Oh my God. Oh,
hey,
so what is
he
averaging? What is RJ averaging though?
Oh, RJ is gonna give me. I'll give him 18, 19 with 5 and 2. 5 and 2. 5 rebounds,
2 assists.
5 rebounds, 2 assists on.
Hold on.
41%.
I'm gonna copy this all down, so we ain't playing around, man. Mm-hmm. Yo, Blazer plays. What up, bro? Hold on. Chuck's predictions. My bad. I didn't mean it. Mm-hmm. I apologize for this guy.
Oh yeah. Please get these. You can win money with these.
So let's start. Let's start from the top again. Crap. My bad. Let's start from the top again. So we got
Joanna Man for 1 and 1.
You know who that is.
Frank Mitty.
I told him when he said that this morning, Germa, I said if Frank is Joanna Man, then DSJ got to be Wesley Snipes and 2 on Fu.
And 2 solo and 2 on Fu.
No, but that's not accurate.
Or Halle Berry and Baps. Yeah, one of these, yeah.
That's not accurate. If you look at the movie, Frank do remind you of Joanna.
No, he doesn't. Y'all got a lot of respect for Frank, man. You and Oots. Y'all hating on Frank that Frank is getting out there with his little modeling career and all the chicks like him, man. Stop hating, man. Salute the dude, man. His basketball may not be good, but come on, man. Y'all hate. You and Oots hate, man. Come on, bro. But you got Frank Nitty 4-1-1, 4 points, 1 assist, 1 rebound. Okay, RJ Barrett.
18, 19. What was it? 5?
5 rebounds? 2 assists.
5 and 2. Yeah, 5 and 2.
5 rebounds, 2 assists. All right, cool.
5 and 2.
41%. I don't know.
DSJ,
RJ got 41% from the field?
DSJ.
Yeah, 41% from the field.
Put traded beside DSJ.
That's these are Ron Cleveland's predictions. Hold on.
I believe he's gonna get traded.
Okay. Yeah, put Ron's up there. Put Ron, put Frank. Yeah. Frank 12.
12 for Frank. DSJ traded. Bullock traded.
Bullock.
Knox.
All right. Can you give us steals? Can you give us rebounds and assists too, please?
Oh yeah. So for Frank gonna get you 12 points, and I think he's gonna average this year 4 assists, maybe 5. He get you 12 and 4. 4 assists, 5 rebounds. Frank gonna have more. He gonna have more rebounds than assists. He gonna have more.
Uses an off guard this year, so that's
why I ain't going with that bunch of assists for him. I think he'll have
4-5 is still.
No, I said he'll get 4 assists, and I think 5 rebounds.
Oh, okay. 4 assists, 5 rebounds.
Yeah, he'll get 5 rebounds.
He'll
get that. With his length, he'll get that.
He gonna get 5 rebounds in 1 game, and he gonna come back. I told you he'll get 5. But we talking about.
No, I'm gonna wait. Hey, we talking right now. This is for the whole year. So that's what we. Hey, I ain't gonna come at you, but I'm gonna look at you.
Please write this down. Please write this down, G.
All right. Yep. So the next guy, RJ. I think RJ gonna average 17. I'm going with 17.
17 points. What field goal percentage?
Field goal percentage. Well, that's a tough one. He takes bad shots. 48%.
48?
What?
48% is, bro. That's all-star level. Yeah. That's whole. They give you the 50, 40, and 90.
I think he'll get 48% of his shots. I think so.
What? 48?
Yeah.
Ron, you my guy, man. Please rethink that 48% before I write it down.
Let me think again.
Write that down.
Let me make sure who I'm thinking about. Hold on. Let me think again.
Write that down. Yo. He said it 3 times. He said it 3 times, Candyman. You gotta write that down.
Ron is a Dolphin.
38. Give me 38%.
38%?
How you jump? Yo, he's confused. You know what? What I did to him last year.
You ain't did nothing.
I think he shot 40%.
You ain't did nothing but say this stats just like your man did. So what did he shoot? You talk about his you asked him about 3-point percentage or field goal percentage?
Field goal percentage, he shot 40%. 3-point percentage, he shot 32%.
He shot 32% from the 3.
Yes, last year.
We talking field goal.
I think I'm gonna stick with that 3-point shot first. Then I'm gonna come back to that field goal.
So what's the 3-point shot?
32.
32 from 3.
He'll shoot 34. I think he'll up that by 2 percentage points.
And then what's his field goal percentage?
And his field goal percentage last year was what?
40.
40? I'm gonna go with 43. He'll increase by 3 percentage points there.
All right. Quick question.
Rebounds. Go ahead.
All right, quick question. When you said 48, what was you talking about? Threes? You were talking about threes?
No. I wasn't thinking threes.
All right, but you got there from 48 to 38. So what was you know what?
Because I wasn't really thinking. I wasn't really thinking on that one.
Bro, you might want to take that one back, man. He said someone said Ron got that moonshine. Yeah, you know.
I ain't had none of that. I ain't had none of that stuff yet, man.
Ron's on that yak. Ron's on that brown, man. That dirty brown, man.
But with RJ though, I think he's gonna get us 17 points and I think he's gonna do most of his damage getting to that free throw line. And speaking about that free throw line, he finished 61% last year. 71. He'll finish 71 this year.
31%. Chuck, you didn't give you a 3-point percentage of free throws from for RJ.
Yeah, I didn't do 3-point percentage for none of them. But
no, but just for RJ, because RJ.
Okay, Raphael, I might still be on that Bucks win, man. I might still be on that Bucks win. Shout out to Raphael in the chat.
32% for your boy RJ from 3.
33.
33%. 33% 3-point. Yeah. And what's from the field? Oh, you said 41 from the field. All right. What about your boy Randall? Because Chuck loves Randall. He thinks Randall.
We ain't talking about RJ rebounding and assists.
Oh yeah, Chuck, you didn't give. No. Oh, you didn't give it, Ron. My bad, Ron.
Okay. If I'm looking at Frank to give me 5, I'm looking at RJ to give me 7. I want 7 rebounds out of RJ.
7 rebounds. How many assists for RJ?
And I think he's gonna average 5 assists too.
5 assists. Wow.
Yeah, I think he'll get 5. He'll get 5. He should.
Yo, Ryan's starting to look like Chuck a little bit with some of these predictions, man. He said.
Y'all gonna call me Ron Stronomus.
No, we're not.
I like the way that sounds.
All right, so what about Randall? Let's get to Randall.
Oh my goodness, let's pull up. What's Julius' numbers?
I'm gonna go 21.
Oh Lord, look who's here now, man.
I'm gonna go.
Look who's here now, man. Oh Lord, everybody wants to
the Knicks and Coach Color Block.
Everybody getting their predictions now, man. Oh Lord, Ron, you want to get predictions now, man?
And them boys,
look at you.
Hey, Crash Dummy.
Crash Chuck, y'all came in on an Uber together. You ain't Coach Color Block.
Yo, Rob wants predictions.
You already know.
You want to give your predictions?
Yo, they sent for reinforcements.
Listen, Legion.
What up, bro?
The glass is about to shatter. The glass is about to shatter, and I'm about to come through it.
Oh, are you giving predictions, Coach?
The glass is about to shatter, and I'm gonna come through.
Oh,
with
Lord.
Stone Cold Steve Austin level of beer.
Oh Lord, Coach, are you giving your predictions too, man?
I've actually been in and out this whole show. So what were you guys talking about?
We're talking about these guys want to give you predictions because you know Chuck gets destroyed every show. So but he wants to give his predictions on DSJ and the lineup, the starting lineup at least.
His point on DSJ. What DSJ gonna do this year?
Nothing.
Woo!
What's the possibility of him being traded?
There might be a possibility because he's got a team-friendly contract. He might be thrown in as like a random thing, like a reclamation project. But I don't know if he's going to actually do anything.
Salute to Amir Samaro. Alec Burks is out for tonight, so he's not putting him in.
Yeah, I don't think DSJ's got much value, bro. Like I don't know what team could be like, yeah, I can use that guy in any capacity. Wait, what did I'm gonna say the same thing I've been saying about DSJ all year. Scale of 1 to 10, 10 being a guaranteed bucket. What number do you give for the success of running a dribble handoff for DSJ?
0.
0, right? 5 at best. You know, if he can't drive to the rack, then what use is he?
What does Chuck have? What's Chuck gonna say? Chuck's gonna say some BS right now.
6.
No way.
DSJ dribble handoff is a 6?
No way.
DSJ
no
look
way.
like he done lost some explosiveness, man. He's not
the gauntlet. Let's flip the gauntlet. Chuck, you talk without you. Every time I go to Synergy, you get killed. You said DSJ was a better in isolation and pick and roll than Frank. He wasn't last year. He got mollywop last year.
No. We went the year before.
Rookie year, he got killed too.
We went the year before,
Frank, right?
No. DSJ won that. How you bring up stats you lost? How you bring up stats you lost? You forgot you brain dead? Yo, you were right.
I didn't lose. No. I didn't lose because me and Andy killed you that whole night. I remember what we argued about.
Yeah, they drop it like flies. Coach, you need. You
got killed. Check it. Coach's on your side. You got killed.
No. I'm trying to beat on Coach because y'all are done. I'm saying, Coach, you need to step in and try to save them. Tag yourself in and come get this boy.
Hey Chuck,
what did Legion say that was wrong though?
That guy next to you was terrible. even with his cigar.
Killed. All right, what'd you say about Frank?
Hey, look, I'm gonna just listen to you, Chuck. I don't even have to give you the time of day. You've been missing it.
Smart.
And you know, Rob will go after anybody. He don't want to go after you. Rob is good. He doesn't want to go after you, bro.
Yeah,
he been seeing my work.
Wait, Chuck, what did you say? What did you say? So I can look it up. You said DSJ could do what?
Seeing your work. Seeing your non-work.
Hold on. No, what did you say about DSJ?
He said 1 through 10. I said 6.
All right. I'm gonna look up dribble handles for DSJ from last season.
Are we making a projection? No, don't do last season.
Why can't I do last season, man?
Because he was hurt last season.
He's hurt this season.
Well, I mean, Chuck, how you gonna say what he gonna do, but you couldn't give us a prediction of what he was gonna score and none of that, but you trying to say about his dribble handoff. I mean, that don't make no sense.
I'm not talking about going forward. I'm talking about what he's done already.
But okay, so what do you want to pick? His rookie year?
One of the first two.
Rookie year?
Man, you living in the past. You living in the past, man.
Okay, Chuck. How about we go to the year he got traded to the Knicks, right? He played healthy. He was healthy on the Knicks, right? That half
a season, right?
Until that back started acting up.
No, that's second year. That was last year. So I'm talking about 2 seasons ago. Can I use that, Chuck? Is that okay?
Nah, because once he went to the Knicks and Frank started getting minutes, that's a downer for anybody.
Oh my! So what can you use?
Boy, you
use minutes.
You hard on Frank, man. And Frank did good the other day, man.
Hey.
So I can't use last year because he got hurt.
Hard on Frank, man. Why you hard on Frank like that, Chuck?
Because if I'm on the bench, if I'm a point guard and I see this dude checking in before me, that's going to destroy my whole confidence, man.
Hey, well, you know I wouldn't want you on my team, man. If somebody else checking in before you, gonna mess with your head, you don't need to be on the team, man.
No, he's that bad. You don't play this dude over me. What are you doing?
Hey, Coach Colorblocks, between Frank and DSJ, who's the better player?
DSJ, what are you talking about?
I was gonna say
he said both of them.
I was gonna say inappropriate. I was gonna say something inappropriate, but I'm not. I don't know. They're both pretty bummy, man.
Please.
But you got to choose between the two. You got to choose one. Who you choose?
Hold on. Let me say this real quick. Hold up, guys. Hold on. Stop the presses. Frank was drafted from Strasburg. Wasn't a point guard at Strasburg. Was made to be a point guard in Phil Jackson's so-called triangle, right? DSJ was more highly touted as a so-called point guard from NC State. He had a rookie year where he put up 15. Albeit on highest usage, couldn't shoot, couldn't space play, can't play off ball. Which was more of a disappointment? Who has disappointed according to expectations, DSJ or Frank?
Okay,
DSJ by far.
Can I answer that?
Go ahead, man.
All right. We have one that averaged 13, 5, and 3, and we got one that averaged 6, 2, and 3.
Yeah,
which one sounds more disappointing to you?
Who did worse?
Which one sounds more disappointing to you?
You see how Frank? You see how you changed that narrative again? Chuck, you good for that, man. I've been watching you, man. Hey, you be a good lawyer. You miss your profession. You need to go be a lawyer or a politician, man.
But hold
Numbers don't lie. 13, 5, and 3.
Outside of his natural position, he's not really. He's just a guard. He's not really even a point guard. And you're sitting there talking about DSJ. DSJ had underperformed in his career, his totality of his career, and his trajectory, more than Frank compared to his expectations.
Okay.
I bet you LeBron will co-sign for him again.
Hold on. Time out. Legion did something that nobody calling him out for. What you just did was you just made an excuse. You talking about what he got drafted for. Like, what are you talking about? Or his position.
Frank at Strasburg was not a point guard. Please, coach, am I wrong? Frank at Strasburg was not a point guard.
No,
he was drafted to be a point guard in the system.
He's always been a combo guard.
No, he was a combo guard.
He's always been a combo guard.
Who faulted him? You also say DSJ ain't a point guard. So what's your point?
No. But DSJ, But DSJ has always been built as a point guard. I'm saying the totality of his game is that he ain't really a point. He ain't like that. But he was built to be. He was drafted. He was built to be a point guard.
I've never seen a player lose his athleticism in 3 years.
It's gone. It's gone.
Y'all the Knicks with a 25-yard bomb.
It's gone.
Julio Jones.
Hey, it's just gone.
Thank you, Rob.
He's not even fast anymore. He's not even fast anymore.
Legion.
He's slower than Alfred Payton.
That's slow.
Legion. Legion, you spend every minute saying DSJ isn't a point guard. Now we're saying Frank isn't a point guard. Now you're comparing point guard numbers.
Let me explain one more time.
Now we're saying he ain't a player. Now we're saying he ain't even a player.
I'm saying both of them ain't point guards. But Frank was not drafted to. Frank was not. He did not play point guard position at Strasbourg. DSJ did. He was not built, but he was coached.
Came in the league as a point guard.
All right. First of all, that's not true. Frank did try to play point guard at Strasbourg. Yes, he did. He was
off the bench is spot duty, maybe.
Yeah, he was the backup point guard.
Yeah,
he was
combo guard. But DSJ,
he was the starter coming out of NC State, is what he's trying to say.
Yeah. He came out of NC State as a point guard, bro.
Stop changing it.
But let Zach go. Zach, what do you want to say, Zach?
No, I was saying that DSJ out of college was a point guard, but he wasn't a true point guard, but he was a scoring point guard, and he was a man. Frank was never a man in Strasbourg. Frank was never the man.
I'm gonna tell you, what happened. You know what happened to DSJ?
Look at Chuck being quiet.
I'm gonna let you know what happened to your man DSJ. You know what happened to DSJ? DSJ came into the league, the big man on campus, and then your boy Luka came and took all his powers.
Okay,
and he never recovered.
But
the map should be thanking DSJ. He got him, Luka.
Yeah.
The point is, y'all.
Damn, son.
He got him, Luka.
That is a great point. DJ,
he's their MVP, bro.
So inept as a guard. DJ was so inept as a talent that he was able to help get the Mavericks that pick for Luka. I mean, they traded with the Hawks.
All right.
Frank and got him Kristaps.
And got him Porzingis. Damn.
That is Garbaggio, man.
No.
If DJ was the man, DJ was still. You're not trading Trae Young. Well, I mean, they did trade Trae Young for Luka. I mean, for Luka at the draft. But at this point, are you trading Trae Young for, say, outside the top 5 to 7 point guards in a game? Are you trading Trae Young?
No.
Yep.
Bro, are you trading? If you call Mark Cuban up right now,
wow,
Luka Porzingis is in some knee brace right now.
That's what I'm saying.
Would you? What would Mark Cuban said if you were like, yo, I'll trade you DSJ for injured Kristaps Porzingis, bro? He hang that phone up on you so fast, like they won't even
break the phone.
He'll break the phone. They won't even take an injured player, bro. He got more value than one leg of Kristaps Porzingis. Get out of here, bro.
Hold on, guys. Let's talk, man. I thought Chuck is dying right now, man. The blood is just gushing right now. The hemoglobin is. You can just see it all splattered out, man. He got that warm purple blood. It's not even a red dried up blood. Let Chuck talk, man. What you want to say, Chuck? Zach just killed you. Coach Colorblast just killed you. Rob killed you. Rob threw the freaking 56-yard bomb from freaking the 30-yard line. Rob is playing like Patrick Mahomes right now. He threw a 50-yard bomb behind the back. He doesn't even care about the pass rush right now. You're getting killed, Chuck. What do you have to say, man?
Wait, before you talk,
I don't want to see a good friend hurt like this, Chuck. What do you got to say, bro?
Can I just ask a question real quick before Chuck goes?
Go ahead, man.
Who turns the corner faster, DSJ or a gallon of milk?
And you don't want to talk about ISO game, Chuck, because Chuck was like, "Oh, DSJ could go by his man." That's not the case, bro. The numbers don't say it. And even then, even if he can, he's shooting 23% from the field, bro. Off of
Michael Jordan numbers.
I believe it was.
He's shooting the Michael Jordan numbers.
Yo, y'all changed the whole. Y'all changed the narrative to try to win.
We just following you, Chuck. We just following your lead.
No. We was comparing a player. Then you broke it down to, he wasn't picked to be a point guard. That's why he sucked. No, he sucked as a talent. His lack of talent is why he's garbage.
Chuck, both those guys suck. But I said, according to expectations, especially coming out from where they came, Strasbourg for Frank, DSJ, NC State. Who has underperformed more compared to their expectations?
The higher pick. The higher pick, sir. The higher pick, sir.
Okay, I will say this. The biggest issue I have with Frank and us and Frank, the Knicks and Frank, is that he was the 8th freaking pick.
Yeah, that was a bad trouble.
I had to sit through Alexei Shved.
Yeah.
My reward.
My
reward was Frank against Makina. Like, that was my reward, bro. A 19-year-old combo guard from a second division in France. That was my reward.
Don't forget Sasha Vujacic.
Sasha Vujacic.
Yeah. The retread.
He was literally just in New York so he could flirt with models, bro. He didn't want to do anything else but party.
Yep.
Chill out, Meatpacking District, man. That was Sasha Vujic, man. But Sasha was trash, man. But you gonna sit here and tell me that DSJ, according to his expectations, and we get because I don't want to be unfair and say, because look, I'll give it to Chuck that he did get drafted higher, but we can say that Phil drafting at 8 for Frank was way more far-fetched or stupid than Mark Cuban and Carlisle drafting DSJ at 9.
Yeah, of course.
You can say that, right? So you know that 8 pick was just absolute garbaggio. But still, according to expectations, DSJ underperformed according to Frank.
We got also
DSJ billed as an explosive guard who could beat his man, who developed the other skills, but was a point guard, right? Be able to facilitate, be able to hopefully shoot, but everything was explosive, could beat his man, dynamic. Frank was, as Coach Hillblas pointed out with Mike Frashella, what type of pick was this? That was not he's going to be an average NBA player at best. You know what I mean? So expectations, again, outside the draft, the draft slot, DSJ underperformed those expectations, man.
Yeah, for 2 years. No, for 2 years he performed to it. For 2 years he performed to it. What?
15
and 5. 15
on
and
like
5.
32. I mean, like 38% shooting on a
All
bad
right, what
team.
did Frank shoot? What did Frank shoot?
I ain't saying Frank's that. I was actually going to. I was about to say that. I came in on here.
DJ thing.
I think they're both busts. I mean, one of them was endorsed by LeBron. DSJ was endorsed by LeBron because he went to his camps growing up, and he was saying how the Mavs got to steal. Frank was endorsed by Phil, and I mean, Phil lost his mind by that point, but he's still a credible basketball man. But I mean, yeah, they're both busts. I mean, I don't know.
Shout out to Harlem Girl, man. You read what Harlem Girl had to say there.
Frank was picked a system that never happened. Agreed.
Ron was saying Frank's going to average 12. Is your next prediction, Ron, that Amari Spellman's going to get a double-double?
No, I'm predicting Spellman going to be traded.
Frank gets 12.
Him and DSJ going to be out of there.
But where's Frank going to play? How's he going to play enough to get 12 a game and 4?
I mean, look.
What I'm saying about Frank going to prove his worth in this time with these players being out, and he going to make it where Tibbs going to have to keep him in. And with that in mind, he's going to be averaging 12. He got a better chance of averaging 12 than DSJ do of ever getting a dunk again in the game.
You want to bet that? He dunked this year. What are you talking about?
Dunk in your dreams.
No, he dunked this year.
DSJ dunked?
Yes,
what game he dunked in?
Off the step. Yes, he did off the step.
That must have been after the whistle.
In preseason.
Preseason. We talking regular season, man.
He's talking about the layup line pregame.
No.
I think it was
that don't count.
right?
In game. I'm talking in game.
It was in game, off the step.
I ain't talking preseason. I'm talking regular season.
Hold up. This is DSJ for you. He dunked the ball, and now he has a quad injury. Your boy's done, bro. He's done.
See how y'all moving the goalpost? You say something, then I prove you wrong.
Hey, you still ain't telling me who's gonna have a better season between the two?
Neither.
You still ain't answer that.
Yes,
between Frank and DSJ this year. I think it's gonna be Frank because DSJ gonna get traded.
Look, my problem with Frank, my thing with Frank is if he was drafted by a team like I heard Knicks Fan TV, for example, was talking about someone who was on there was talking about it. I forget who, but like a Marcus Smart type of thing. If Frank was drafted by a contending team and was told to just go guard the other team's best player while he's in the game and hit a 3 every once in a while, okay. Like he would have filled that role and fans would have loved him on a contending team. But on the Knicks team where you need everything, he's not gonna be that good. He's a glue guy that's not great at one thing. He's a solid defender, but he hasn't proved that he's a great defender because he hasn't gotten steady minutes against all the best talent in the league. So I feel like Frank got a bit of a bad deal coming to the Knicks. If he would have went to like the Celtics or the Warriors, for example, or I mean a good team,
or San Antonio,
I think he would have been better. Yeah, the Spurs. Yep.
He got a raw deal all around. I think the biggest issue was the top 10 status. Because now automatically that's going to follow you around for his whole life.
And not only that, Coach, you remember when he got drafted, the immediate response was that he was going to be a project.
Yep.
I remember Stephen A. almost gone crazy.
It's
right. Stephen A. goes crazy over
there. They should have stashed him. Frank should have been a stash.
Yep.
It should have been a lottery pick and leave him in France for 2 more years.
Yeah,
and he comes back when he's ready.
To develop.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what about DSJ though? What should have been done with DSJ?
DSJ's issue is that he relied on his athleticism and it's gone now.
DSJ's problem is he quits. He quit at NC State. He quit in high school. He quit in NC State.
Lord.
He quit in Dallas.
Quit in Dallas. I mean, he got sent home.
I don't want him in the foxhole with me.
I mean,
did Frank ever get sent home for insubordinate attitude or what would be insubordination or whatever that was called?
Frank's been professional.
Or attitude.
Yeah, Frank's been a consummate pro. He wants what's best for the team, when he's on the floor or not.
He would complain.
I tell you what else, too. You know what else? Frank is more mentally tough than DSJ. I know that much. I know that much. I seen DSJ almost cry on the court when he was getting booed. I know I saw that.
He was going through a lot though too. You got to remember what.
Okay, yeah, he was going. His mom passed. I can't get too hard on him. His mom passed.
All of us would have been in our bag, in our feelings.
He was back.
I give him a pass for that. But other than that, if you're looking at mental toughness between them two, I'm going with Frank. I'm going Frankie Smokes.
Frank.
Will Banks, what up, man? Amir Samara, what up, man? Kodak Vlogs says he has your back, Chuck, but he hasn't really said anything to have your back. Naomi says Chuck lip is trembling. Yeah, Chuck really can't say anything. He's dying right now, man.
I ain't cut you off, man. You just ain't talking.
Hold up. Let Chuck speak. Hold up. Let Chuck speak. By the way, Chuck does not have a Brooklyn Nets jersey. He has a Juventus jersey. So Chuck is a Knicks fan, but he has a Juventus jersey. If anybody thought it different. But please explain, Chuck. Who's mentally tougher, DSJ or Frank?
Well, being that Frank can't express himself because he don't know English. we got to judge by time.
This guy is a hater, yo.
What do you mean a hater? Yo? How you gonna get mad? How you get mad? They don't know.
You see how he changed the narrative again?
He's a hater, bro.
He got mad, but they didn't know what he was talking about. So it was like, all right. He asked for a trade and everything. They didn't know what he was talking about. You're gonna ask for a trade every week. They couldn't make it out.
Oh my goodness!
Oh man, this dude is bugging, man. Yo, Bad Mojo, 1862, man.
So he be on the bench like.
Frank didn't give me a comic relief this year. I must see when he tried to cross somebody up and lost that ball.
I've seen and for a kid in Frank, who I would say Fizdale had a really short leash on Frank. You talk all that, eat what you kill, and I'll take you out if you make dumb mistakes. But if you make, so-called effort, I take you out if you make effort mistakes, but mental mistakes, I want to take you out. He took out Frank a lot more than he did DSJ.
Or anybody else that was making mistakes.
And I've never seen Frank pout on the court. I've never seen Frank have his head down outside that Celtics game where his mom passed away. I've never seen Frank as dejected as DSJ has been. So I don't know what you talking about with the mental toughness. I'm giving that to Frank.
I'm not.
Frank and Knox had a very short string.
Very much so, man.
They should have.
Very much so. But you guys, okay, let me get back to predictions, man. We haven't gotten to Randall. Because we know, first of all, your boy Chuck does not like Obi, by the way. Does anybody have any comments on Obi? That might be counting what Chuck believes in Obi.
You know what? And I have a comparison to him, and I think it's a good one, of a guy I actually really liked in college, Michael Beasley. He was a beast. He was a beast as a smaller man in the post. Couldn't do no wrong in college. Put up 26 and 12 at Kansas State. And then all of a sudden he gets to the league where there's grown men. And what did he do? I mean, he was always a bucket, but not as effective and not as efficient. Obi, I like Obi, and I want nothing more than for the kid from Brooklyn to be good for the Knicks. But I don't see it. I see him going to chuck up a lot of shots, not going to play the best defense. And I mean, we'll see. I hope he does well, but he screams Michael Beasley to me, 2.0.
My comparison, mine was always Thomas Robinson. I saw Thomas Robinson in him.
Yeah, but Thomas Robinson didn't have a J. He didn't have a J.
Oh, Kansas Thomas Robinson. He's like a power forward, but he's like only 6'8".
Yeah. Yeah, and see, my thing with Beasley, and I see partially Beasley, but Beasley's issue is that he just didn't care.
It's not just that though. He was going.
He just
didn't work hard, and he admitted to not working hard for a while. And it's like
he was doing that other work.
He was also 6'8", 230, and that's true. Couldn't go against 4. He was a 4 in college. They tried moving him to the 3, like there was rumors Obi was going to be moved to the 3. He was too slow to play the 3, and then he put him back at the 4, and he wasn't that good.
Yeah.
He was a bucket, but
he's one of those kind of guys. He's one of those kind of guys.
Obi, the one thing Obi has over him is a work ethic, team first personality. Yes, but that, I mean, doesn't just because you're a team player don't mean you can get past your defender or bully him any better. Doesn't mean you're going to be a better bully if you're a team player. He's not going to be what he was at Dayton.
Yep.
Well, one thing we can all agree on: every draft, unfortunately.
Players talk about Nick Buss. I need another cigarette.
You know what I mean? we always know. We always know that he make me think about J.R. Reed when you was talking about players that excel in college and then come to the league and you like, what in the world is this? Or the other one, Eric Montross.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Eric I just hope we don't ever draft one of those types. I'll say that much.
The thing with Obi was that when you look at his game, this is what I was, and I mentioned the same issue with Obi. Older, it may be hard to develop. When you look at his game, I mean, he has explosiveness and he eats at the basket. But again, will he be able to dominate the same way that he did in college? Now, I do think his passing chops are fairly decent. That may save him for the time because you can have him on the court and he's not basically a freaking what's this guy's name that used to be on the freaking Grizzlies, the one who only dunk. Number 2 pick. He was a bust. He went to LSU.
Man.
Stromile Swift.
No,
Stromile Swift.
I was saying Tyrese Thomas.
Tyrese Thomas. No. Remember, he was on the Bulls. They were always trying to get him to shoot and be just not a dunker, and he never developed that game. And that's the thing with Obi. Not saying that I think Obi can pass him better. He can shoot the 3, but again, only a few attempts. So it's not as if he's an adept 3-point shooter on a level where he's giving you 4 attempts a night and he's shooting 38%. He shot 38%, but there's only 2.5 or whatever attempts a night. So with Obi, this is the thing I'm scared about because do you keep Randall? Because
yes,
I think Obi's gonna need more than 2. He might need more than 2 years to finally reach that. You're gonna need a point guard for him.
Yes, the type of numbers Randall's gonna put up this year, you're gonna force your hand to keep him, man. You ain't gonna let him walk out the door. Like I said, Guillermo. What he's going to do, he's going to be that piece to attract other players who want to come here. If you got somebody putting up all-star numbers, we'll finally have a player that people look at and say, hey, I want to come play with that guy.
Nobody's saying they want to come play with Julius Randle.
You're thinking about the old Julius Randle. We talking about this new version of Julius Randle. If he continues to play like this, somebody's going to want to come play with him.
Julius Randle's on that contract. We know Tim Thomas is one of the best contract year players I've ever seen in my life, bro. Tim Thomas gave you all-star numbers every time his contract year came up when he was with the Bucks.
But remember that
we had Glenn Robinson, Ray Allen, Sam Cassell, I believe, was also there. They were supposed to be like Tim Thomas was looking like that guy, man. And then when he got the contract, he didn't give a damn. Then he went to I think it was the Clippers. He had the next one on where it was a contract year, and he killed that year. I think it was the Clippers. No, I think it was the Suns. I think it was the Suns that he was on. And Tim Thomas pulled a Tim Thomas on us, right? So I'm approaching this thing with Julius Randle, and again. If Julius Randle gets his option picked up, right, and he's looking like, these dudes are trying to move on from me, even though I'm the reason why we're winning, I'm the best player, and they're trying to basically move me over for Obi, right? Do you think Julius Randle's going to play the same way as he's doing this year? Not saying he won't, but you don't have any hesitation to believe that he might be like,
he's going to have to. If he want to go someplace else.
That'll be his test. If you give him if he cares about the team and team over everything, that's the next step in him getting a big deal. He needs to show that.
Yeah, he's going to have to. Yeah, he'll be on the last year's deal. He's basically going to be in the same boat.
Because if he shows that he just wants to move on and be a starter somewhere, he's just going to prove what everybody thinks he is. Empty calories on a bad team. He's just going to empty stat sheet stuffer on a bad team. That's what people see him as. He's going to go like New Orleans. He was getting 21 a game, but what were they doing? Last year, he was almost 20 and 10, but what were we doing? He's got to make that next step and prove that he can be a contribution to a winning team.
Same thing at Kentucky too. He was prolific, but they didn't really go anywhere.
Yep.
Oh.
Do y'all remember Ed O'Bannon?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. UCLA, him and his brother.
Yeah, I remember him.
Okay, that's Obi.
I don't know about all that.
Come on, man.
No, boy, I'll speak for myself. Don't get me wrong. I think Obi is talented. I just don't see the fit on this team at all. Like the fit on this team doesn't make any sense. The only fit on this team that Obi has is that he's CAA. That's the only fit.
That's the only fit a lot of dudes have.
Who would you have drafted? I know Chuck would have drafted Kira Lewis.
I would not have taken Kira Lewis.
Heck no. Or Denny.
Denny, no. I think Halliburton was the call. Or Vassell. Vassell was the call.
That was my
Vassell was the call. It was Vassell or Halliburton. But Halliburton wasn't supposed to drop that low. It was supposed to be Vassell.
Halliburton changed that jump shot and messed him up.
Yeah, but I think Vassell was the call.
Scared people off.
Yeah, Vassell was the call. Because Vassell's safe. You already know he's going to be.
Right. 3-and-D player.
He's going to be a 3-and-D player. He's going to slot him in right now. That's all we needed. We needed to hit a single, you know?
We don't need another 3-and-D. We need a point guard that can distribute the ball. We can't even tell how good Obi is until he's on a team with a true point guard who's going to set these dudes up.
Yeah, I was pretty high on Cole Anthony, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Brandon McNeely, man. Some dude salute too. Glenn Greenstein salute. You high on who? Cole Anthony?
Yeah, I was high on Cole Anthony.
All Knicks fans were.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm a North Carolina fan. That's the one player I did watch.
First game, bro, I was not impressed with Cole Anthony. I'm sorry, bro. I'm
gonna tell you that the players on UNC team this year was one of the weakest teams that Roy had since he's been there, and that's why Cole was looking like that. That's why.
We're one of the least talented teams I've ever coached. He said that during
he wasn't lying. He wasn't lying. So
Cole Anthony, I did say with Sim. I said this with Sim. We both said Cole Anthony scares me because I feel like if he goes to another team, he might kill, but if he's on the Knicks, he's gonna suck. So I did at least give that caveat, man. But Cole Anthony right now, but it's tough. Maybe he's one of those guys that he's just better with better talent around him. His tape at UNC did not look like his high school tape, which is the case with a lot of players. But Cole Anthony scared the.
I think he's gonna have a better career than his pops. Because I'm gonna tell you what, his pops disappointed me with New York. From what he was in college with UNLV, think back to what he was with UNLV and how he played with us. He was not that player. He was not.
I can't wait for this. I can't wait for the quickly
assessment
predictions.
Yeah, y'all gotta stop with quickly. Some of y'all really acting like this kid is a second coming of, man. Just because we
Columbia, huh?
I can't wait for that because
I just want to add, like, I was high on Cole Anthony because he's one of those players whose game translates better to the pros than it does college.
Absolutely.
And so I was like, oh, he can make his own shot already. Like you got to think about like translatable, discernible skills from prospect to NBA player. And I'm like, what's the one thing at least this kid could do? And then if you can get to like 3 or 4 things that the kid can do at the NBA level, then you're talking about top 5 pick. But if you just got one, you're pretty high pick.
Look at Donovan Mitchell. He was. I mean, I'm not saying they're the same person, but he wasn't picked high. He was below our guys we were just arguing about.
Right.
And look what he did. Right. I'm not saying Cole's going to be that guy.
It always happens, man. There's somebody that slips. There's always somebody that slips. Yep. Look at D Wade.
Yep.
So who's a sleeper in this draft? That we have drafted Theo Melodon. This kid is putting up numbers, man. He's been doing it since the preseason. Theo Melodon looks like a potential steal. And I know everybody got shocked with Frank Ntilikina, but the kid Theo Melodon looks good. Is he a sleeper in this draft?
That might be a fit thing. That's a fit thing. For those late picks, it's always a fit. It's always an issue of fit.
Yo, the Prince Bun, what up, bro?
They got to go into the right situation when they're that late into the draft.
But he's coming as a point guard, right? But they already have your boy SGA. So,
he's gonna get plenty of burn there, though.
Theo Melodon is doing okay. Malachi Flynn might be more of a fit, even though I wasn't a fan of Malachi Flynn coming as like a lead guard for the Knicks. I just don't think that's him, but he's playing decently, or he was with the Raptors. Who else is actually killing? Poku, I don't think has any stats because someone killed me about Poku in the preseason, but it's like his preseason dogs.
Poku's like 3 years away.
I haven't seen Patrick Williams much. LaMelo.
Patrick Williams, all right. That's another example. Patrick Williams has already scored double digits in the NBA. And he didn't really do that at Florida State because, again, his game. But that's the thing. His game was predicated for the pros, not for Florida State, where it was all system. Like they played a very specific way, so you couldn't. It was like Marvin Williams at UNC, right? Like
he was good at USC, but then he got in college and got in the pros, and game fell off.
It depends on what. Yeah, it depends on what you're supposed to do in college versus what they want you to do in the NBA. That's why I was like, well, Cole Anthony can already beat an NBA defender 1-on-1. So you can at least throw him in there for 10 minutes a game, score off the bench for you at least, right? Whereas like if we take in a player like a Frank or even like a Knox or Obi, where it's like, what do they do? What's their NBA skill already?
Hold on, Coach. We got Dunbar Anthony. I think he wants to kill Chuck as well too.
Oh, let's go. Dunbar,
what's good, bro?
G-Mo.
How you doing, fam?
What's going on? I was doing all right until I heard some of the Knicks family just disparaging Obi and Quickly and calling and comparing guys to Tyrus Thomas and Malik Beasley. Gentlemen,
Malik Beasley.
Gentlemen who said that. I don't know which one of it was, but I heard it. Okay, this is the one thing you've got to take a step back, and when you're making these comparisons, those gentlemen that you talked about had no heart. Those gentlemen you talked about was addicted. One was addicted to marijuana. Okay. Is Malik Beasley, which broke his game down. You have to let Obi have more than 2 games in the NBA before you can sit out here and critique all of what he can't do. You sound foolish.
I haven't
you
said
really
that. First of all, that people are saying how he looks like college. Now, to Chuck's point, to be fair, Chuck has not said he's a bust. He just said that who he reminds me of. He said that he feels he's going to average 13 and 7 for his career. You talk about his deficiencies. You know what I mean? I don't think he's Malik Beasley. I believe that was Zach who said that. And I don't think it's necessarily in style of play, just that the dominance he had in college, right? I think he was at K-State, right?
Yep.
The dominance he had in college, it may not translate to the NBA.
That's all I was saying.
Malik Beasley has had years where he's put up numbers.
I wasn't saying he was the best player or he was the same player or nothing.
Here's the thing with Obi. Every year, Obi just kept getting better. He kept working on his game. He grew muscles, this, that. He just kept getting. He's an ascending ball player as of from when we drafted him.
He's also 23.
It looks like he's going upwards, not going down. He's an ascending ball player.
He's also
only played 2 games.
I'm not saying he's a bust. But he's also 23. You got to take into account that guys who have matured, where their games are more mature and they're not physically dominant, right? When you're older like that, sometimes, like Coach Colblock said, you are what you are. And the thing about it is that he's dominant in college. He wasn't this ridiculously good shooter in college. His on-ball skills weren't it wasn't this. He wasn't this advanced player like say an AD or something like that. So he has parts of his game that may never be fixed. So we could have also overdrafted for him versus taking a guy who was safe in Devin Vassell. Look, we're all getting hyped up over Alec Burks, who is at this point, and I'm not disparaging him. He's a journeyman scorer off the bench, right? A swingman who come and give you buckets, and we're all enamored by the fact he had 20.7 points. Right? A guy like Devin Vassell who can shoot the 3, has a little bit of mid-range, is not great, but can play defenses long, can attack teams' offenses, right? You're telling me that player, if he was on the Knicks, guys wouldn't be – I wouldn't say you call him the second coming of, but if he was giving you 15 points a game, give you several threes, and playing really good defense, we'd be singing the high heavens of him like we're doing with Alec Burks now. So the Obi Toppin pick – and again, Obi Toppin's agent was what? Leon Rose's godson or something? Not godson. Son-in-law, whatever the hell it was. His agent, whatever. So you have to also take into account we have some weird sliminess in regards to CAA agents and a UK product. You know what I mean? It's
okay. That being said, okay, remember, in sports, teams are creatures of habit, and teams follow what the next team does. Tim Duncan was a 4-year starter. The greatest ball players who've ever played this game, they played 3 and plus years. Okay, outside of LeBron and Kobe, Lou Alcindor, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was a 4-year starter. Okay, there is nothing can beat experience. All of these 17, 18, and 19-year-olds, now also with the influx of the European ball players who've been playing since they're 13 and 15-year-old, are washing out at 21, 22, 23 years old. Why? No one has no time for them. Okay? The case in point, what you said about Alex Burks, about a journeyman. Do you know who also was a journeyman? Chauncey Big Shot Billups. He was on 8 different damn teams before he got back to Detroit and became Chauncey Billups. It takes time. It takes patience. It takes a management team that knows how to build a team. Okay? You can't just the other day said last year,
Golden State took an average of, I think it was 31 threes, which was the same amount of threes they took when they won it the first time. Their 31 threes they took a game last year was 25th in the league. 25th. That means people are just following what their blueprint was and just rolling off on it. Okay? 25 teams did not make the playoffs last year. 25 teams were not in the final two last year. Okay? Man, you have to have a manager that knows what they're doing, can pick talent, no matter if they're late bloomers, early bloomers, or not. My point is, let's give these young guys a chance before we just give them their futures before anything else happens. Family, y'all know I love y'all. Knicks family, we out. Peace.
Salute you, Dunbar.
I mean, I was saying that, though. I said Obi needed a better point guard around him, and we need to give him a chance. But I was just saying what he made translate was.
No one called Obi a draft bust. No one
I think we all agreed that we're high on Obi. He's talented.
Right.
No one called him a bust. I think we're bringing up, at least I'll speak for myself. I was bringing up the issues with fit and also the issues with where a player lands and what a player's ceiling is based off the team they land on. And so calling out that Obi is bad at defense is not hating on the kid. It's calling out what it is. We're calling out that Obi can't really do much other than low post mismatches and pick and roll, and we don't have a pick and roll guard. It's not hating on the kid.
And let me just say something real quick. First and foremost, salute to Holito McCullum of the Wire fame. Salute to him. He supports all our channels, man. Salute to that dude, man. And motivated by success. Are you a troll? Like, shut up, dude. You're really annoying right now. No one's saying that Obi is a bust. No one's saying that he can't be successful. He said the Knicks fans might be the dumbest. Literally, we have nothing to talk about until the game happens. We're all just talking ish. I mean, if you want to come up here and argue your points, which I'm pretty sure you don't have any, I mean, you're more than welcome, but I would school you any day of the week. He keeps coming at me. He said, Lee just said he is what he is. I said that he may be what he, some of y'all, you talk about Knicks fans are some of the dumbest. You might be one of the dumbest people I've met. I sit here, I'm telling you, we've seen it all throughout college where there's certain guys who are older, right? They can't develop, like you said, bro, Coach Colorbox, sometimes you can't develop certain certain skills, right? Certain skills are just ingrained in you, especially as you get older. You just don't get better at them. No one sat here and said that Obi will not develop. I didn't even say that. I'm just saying that can be the case. And that's why I was more so in favor of a guy like Devin Vassell who can fit at the 2-role, 3-role if you want it. And he complements the players on the team a lot better, right? So I don't know what this dude is motivated by success. You definitely don't have any success in your mental because you're stupid as hell, but I'm gonna ignore you. You can be in the chat. I don't care if you support, do whatever, but Lord Jesus, you've been doing this the whole day. Anytime I say something, Legion, blah, blah, like dogs. If you want to come up here and challenge me, I'll do you like Chuck. I'll destroy you like Chuck, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? But don't at least Chuck has heart to come up here and show his face. Let's see if you show your face in your mom's bathroom. I'll destroy you, bro. You don't want it.
I'm nice with mine,
when we got drafted, I said that wasn't my pick, but I support Obi all the way. I'm the same person that said everybody's saying that Obi was not being used correctly. And I was the one that said, allow Obi to play in a pick and pop, which may not be comfortable for him, but allow him to develop his game. I did say that multiple times when people said Obi is dumb. And I said, Obi does well driving on the baseline, like that little Maya move. Put him in that position if you want to get points from him. I'm talking about Obi's development this whole day, and you picked the one time where we're literally just talking ish because there's nothing going on right now, but we're literally just saying what he looks like, what he's. That's it. That's what I'm saying, but
I'm gonna tell you, Legion, you are right when we talking about Obi, man. We got to be realists about all these players. At the end of the day, I think a lot of times we get attached to players. I know I like Frank, but guess what? If he ain't doing right, I'm gonna call him out. You know what I mean? Any player. At the end of the day, it's about the Knicks, ain't about I. And let's just be real. What we've seen from Obi thus far, yeah, you can say 2 games or whatever, but they're not using him properly. He's not being used the way he was in college. So he's sitting out on the perimeter just shooting jump shots.
Right.
I don't know. You know, Tom Thibodeau, if you're talking about the triangle, he wants Obi to be a high post, low post weapon, right? Can pass out, that pick and pop that you saw, I believe it was the first game he was in, right? Again, like I said, when we talk about guys' weaknesses in NBA now, Obi to me is not a low confidence player like Knox, where you have to kind of get him comfortable and in certain sets to get him comfortable, get him looks, that stuff, right? Obi, I feel, has high confidence. So what you can do with him that I think is better than with some other players is that you're going to allow him, you can put him in situations that he's not comfortable in, right? You can force him to work on his weaknesses, which I've said time and time again. So I don't know what this guy's talking about. Like, dogs, I have no problem with Obi, but I'm not going to sit here. If people have assumptions on Obi or their assessments on what they see so far, and many times some guys, they may be right. For instance, right, Sean May killed at UNC.
It was garbage when he came to the league.
In the background, you could just turn me down. I remember Sean May was killing it at UNC. That team, Ray Felton, Marvin Williams, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. But it came out that same college strength that he had when he was beasting dudes down low, it didn't translate to the NBA. So sometimes you can say there's a precedent to say, all right, this guy's not going to translate because I've seen it before. You know what I mean? But hey, so motivated by success. If you want to come up here and get killed, man, face to face, please come up here and get killed.
It's like
I'm a fan of the trolls, but I'm not going to kick you out or anything like that, man.
People in the chat are like, Obi's an elite rim runner and he's good on the fast break. I'm like, yeah, he also got drafted to one of the slowest paced teams in the NBA.
That's counterproductive to what he does.
Right. So it's like if I took Prime Yao Ming and put him on the Steve Nash Phoenix Suns, he'd be trash. Doesn't mean that he's not a talented player. It means the fit doesn't work. And so my question is, I think Obi's talented. I think he's worthy of a top 10 pick. He's the Wooden Player of the Year. You don't get that for being a scrub. You just don't.
True.
I just don't see the fit on this Knicks team with no lead guard, with no pick and roll offense. We had 2 freaking fast break points in the other day in Indiana. Like, it's going to be really tough for him to be his effective self. And what that does is it hurts young players' development if they're not put in the best opportunities for them to succeed.
But
it's like, and he's not that great in which we're going to shift our whole offense around him.
Yeah, that's
all I'm saying.
This is a year in flex, though. Like, when you think about it, we got a lot of guys that probably won't be here for the future. We are still building our roster and making moves to make our team better. So you can't really judge how his fit's going to be yet until we have our future set in stone. But the Thibodeau effect that I do want to say is that when someone earlier touched on things that make him do things they're not comfortable with, he's getting the whole roster to do that. You one thing to say about DSJ, he comes out and he's trying on defense, which I've never really seen him do before. Obi's playing much better on defense than I thought he would in his first couple of games. A lot of guys were playing great on defense, and it's hustle and it's energy plays. Kevin Knox diving after a ball in Milwaukee, starting a fast break. I mean, not being afraid to go up against Giannis. Guarding
Chris Middleton.
I mean, the good thing is that he's getting them to buy in effort and defense. The rest will come.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and I just want to say about Obi, it's not just a point guard I think he needs. I think he needs a 5 that can stretch the floor a little bit. Because when you have Mitch and Randall on the floor with him, they're taking his real estate where he's meant to be sitting around the basket where he's more effective. So that's what I was talking with Guillermo earlier, like a guy like Evan Mobley, or even going into free agency and signing at least a 5 that can stretch the floor that lets Obi in around the basket a lot more. Because the way the Knicks are using him when he's on the floor, they're using him like they're using Knox, or even they're using him like Bertans is used over in Washington, just out in the 3-point line racking up shots. And his shot ain't that bad when you think he went 3 for 7, which isn't bad. He's still 40% from 3. Like, he can hit the threes, but he shouldn't be taking that much of threes. Like, there was too many threes he was taking, but it was the only way he was being effective because you had Randall and you had Mitch in his spot.
But all at the same time, playing devil's advocate, he's only 220. He's not a type that's going to dominate in the post. I don't care.
He's got bigger.
Yeah, he's not going to dominate because people are going to double him. People are going to put someone big on him. And
get them calories up.
Philly, let's say he's dominating in Philly. Put Embiid on him. He ain't doing nothing. Mitch has no threat offensively. Even if you have a stretch 5, put Embiid on him. Put someone else on the outside. Just for example, the Philly game. Like, he's not going to dominate in the post like he had to. He has to evolve his game. And in a transition year, this is where you try that. I'm not saying shoot as many threes as he did, but he's got to continue to – everybody's got to continue to work on things to get better. You want to work on the things that got you here, but also continue to get better at your weaknesses or things that you want to add to your game.
Yeah, he needs to get quicker. He needs to get quicker in the post too with his feet to get around some of these slower guys, and he needs to develop a mid range because I don't think he has much of a mid-range. It's either inside or out. There's no mid-range with him.
That's that modern NBA thing. Nobody really stresses on the mid-range anymore, and I think they should.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a copycat league, yeah, but what's Popovich known best for?
This is why I don't understand what they don't have a mid-range, right? If you're a point guard, right, even if you could shoot the three, if teams know, okay, he's not going to shoot the three, once you put the ball to the floor and you're trying to drive, they know that you're only going to go one way, which is to the basket, pull up and pass. Why not have a mirror? Now, I know all these statisticians and all these guys from MIT, oh, yeah, well, it shows about the numbers and that stuff, but it's
Never
like
played a minute in their life. Yeah.
Right. And it's like, yeah, and you end up like Daryl Morey, and basically the team that you so-called put all these calculations together, they're in shambles, and you haven't won anything. I'm talking about the Rockets, and now he's not even on that same team anymore. So I'm just confused as to like, just basketball-wise, why would you ever have a mid-range? Like I've seen, like, for instance, when I did the video on Kara Lewis, one of the issues that he would throw these long floaters that would not go in. And it's like, dogs, why don't you have a mid-range?
Yep.
You'd easily be more dangerous as a smaller guard who's fast and quick, who could beat guys off the dribble, maybe may not be able to finish on them, right? Like in terms of like laying up on them or dunking or at the basket. Why not have a mid-range once you create that space? Like it does. I don't know what these MIT, the whole advanced analytics community is in basketball, that crap.
But Obi needs to develop a little bit of a floater too. That'll help his game out because he has the length and the size and when it's like length, it's easier for him to hit floaters. It's the same with Mitch. Like, why hasn't Mitch developed a floater yet? And there was talking about him shooting threes in the offseason. Why aren't you developing an inside game and working it out? Like, we see Obi already has taken more threes than he's taken mid-range or inside. Which, to me, I don't understand they're not using him right. The same with Knox. Knox is a good shooter, but Knox needs to be put in that post position, too. Because he is the size, he's the length. He just needs to put on more size.
Hold up. Carlos Boomer from Spain, man. Salute to you, bro. He says hi there from Madrid. Is Burks out? Yes, Burks is out tonight.
Burks out. Yeah, that's a problem. RJ and
AP traded well
pick it up.
Someone's asking me, what am I? Oh, go ahead, Chuck.
All right, Obi is Knox with hops. All right, neither one of them are going to live in the post. Neither one of them. Stop saying the post. No, they're not going to have post game. They don't have that body. They don't have the base to be down there. Yep. So when you see him in there, he's beating his man and getting in the post. He's not backing nobody down, and he don't have that. That's not going to be his game. So you're not going to see that. You
see him down by Zion in the league. He lost his dog. He hasn't been the same.
They spot up shooters. They face up shooters and
Obi. I feel like Obi has the ability to adapt to what other teams are doing. So he has a good playmaking ability. He can pass the ball. He can score in the post against smaller defenders, but he has to develop like
Sorry. Let's go. Let's go, son. What you talking about, boy?
Man United again must have robbed another win.
No. Cut this off, bro. Let's go, Joe. Where you at, Joe?
That's how United win. Last minute winners. They play like trash and they get last minute winners.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, I'm on the show right now. Wait. We in Europe right now?
What the hell?
Oh, you Virginia? Yeah! Got it. Yo, what's up, Coleman? Let's go, man.
All right, somebody
Let's go, man. Sorry, Manchester United just scored.
Who scored?
In the 5-minute injury time. Let's go!
Who scored, Cavani?
Rashford, injury time winner.
Rashford. Finally, he's doing something.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
Somebody said Knox had more hops than Obi.
No. Well, what I was saying.
My bad, y'all. I apologize for that.
Obi, a really good playmaker. We've seen that in spots, in spurts, and he can post up against smaller defenders. But what you want him to see, like almost like when they used to throw Melo at the forward for the first time. He was quick enough to get around bigger guys and get to his spot, and he had enough bully ball in him to bully smaller guys. Obi needs, like the one guy said, he needs to get quicker with his first step. He needs to get quicker Just in general, lateral quickness. He will get there, but we got to remember, it just takes time. And with Thibodeau's the right coach to get the best out of our.
Let me ask you this. At point guard position, I know we have Austin Rivers, whatever, but is there a point guard out there? And I know some people might say this one guy. Are there any point guards out there, so-called, I won't say disgruntled stars, but guys that we could pick up, maybe trade a few draft picks and a few pieces here and there that would be great for the team? Now, people said I'm not the biggest fan of
Lonzo Ball, but I think I'd wait till restricted free agency.
Yeah, yep.
I wouldn't trade.
I'm not too willing to give the kitchen sink for him.
Yeah. You just got to see what happens with the draft, where we're sitting first. And if we're in a position where we can get a wing and not a point guard, then I think you go after Lonzo Ball. And another guy I was looking at, too, when he's down the street.
Rubio ain't coming.
Nah, they just traded for Rubio.
Would you try? Now, here's one team that I think you might. Now, I'm not sure they're only going to keep them together. But if they break it up, here's one player. Now, you guys might kill me. Would you go after CJ McCollum? If they were trying to trade him?
Absolutely.
They ain't traded him. I heard that the Blazers turned down an offer for Harden because that McCollum was in the deal.
Well, that's smart. I wouldn't want Harden either.
Harden is a cancer. I feel like
wouldn't want him.
He has no value. His value is dropping.
Yeah, I'll take CJ McCollum though.
Lonzo's not really a Tibbs guard, right? He doesn't attack the basket. He's not aggressive.
But he shoots. He opens up the floor.
Right.
His shooting is coming nice.
He can't shoot foul shots, right? So,
yeah.
What about you, Chuck? When it comes to CJ McCollum,
he's not to the point.
CJ, I mean,
just to have him on this team.
Now he comes to two guard.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'll take him.
I'll hold my thoughts on this one.
For him outside of Frank and DJ, because I know he's going to say Frank. All of Chuck's trade packages come with Frank, but who are you trading to get CJ McCollum?
Damn, we don't have a lot.
You're going to have to send Randall up.
You're going to have to. That's the thing with any top trades, Randall has to go.
No. I'm sending
the money match.
I'm sending Frank and I'm tricking him to take Obi.
You trade Obi already?
Yeah.
You're a moron.
Wow.
I'm not gonna say anything about Lonzo Ball or McCollum or anything like that because my take is always gonna be met with a disagreement. So,
first of all,
what are you trading? What are you trading?
Talk your Ishmael. I'll give it talk.
Yeah, no, screw the chat.
If Knick fans are so ready to potentially pay someone like Lonzo Ball or CJ McCollum or Kyle Lowry or whoever the hell's a free agent point guard, why didn't you just trade for Chris Paul or Westbrook?
I want a Chris Paul badly.
I want a Westbrook.
I went on record with the Westbrook. I wanted Westbrook. I could picture him with Obi.
Like,
he would have done wonders for Obi.
You tell me it was better. Potentially paying someone like Lonzo Ball $25 million a year, or just paying the extra, pay the 40 total a year, which is one decent player maybe on a contract, and get someone guaranteed like Chris Paul or Russell Westbrook.
I would go with Russell Westbrook, man.
Exactly.
I would have gone Westbrook.
Like, if you guys want to pay that,
Westbrook's body will betray him.
I ain't gonna say that.
Lonzo's been injured.
I'm not gonna say that.
Listen, I know Westbrook and Paul have been hurt, but if they give you if you sign for ideally 240 games of their total contract and you get like 170 out of them, that's a good deal. I'd rather 170 games of Chris Paul's left knee than 200 Lonzo Ball garbage games.
First of all, it depends. It depends on what you.
It doesn't. You're going to get more impact out of the less games played with a better player.
So you want Chris Paul or RJ Barrett to come here and dominate the ball while RJ Barrett just sits in the corner. Obi doesn't get any better.
Chris Paul?
Chris Paul? Westbrook?
Chris Paul's going to have to dominate the ball.
No. Chris Paul's going to get guys in position.
Chris Paul is one of the best.
The Clippers, he held on to the ball a lot more with the Clippers because they really didn't have playmakers. They didn't have playmakers on that Clippers team, but when he went to the team,
Chris Paul looking to set people up.
Yeah, but
that's his whole game.
Chris Paul. No. Hold up, Zach. To your point. I'm gonna give you credit on this. When he was on the Clippers, he did have an issue of holding the ball. Like he was known to hold the ball a lot. But again, that team did not have a lot of talent. Versus when he went to the Rockets, he was playing on ball, off ball with Harden. It's just, the Knicks would fall probably somewhere in between. Well, I don't even know if they're as good as the Clippers team, but I don't think
Guillermo, I think with the Knicks, then we don't have much talent either, so he might try to hold the ball too with us.
And it's gonna header. Chris Paul's too.
No, he'd help RJ and Obi, but I'm just saying he'd hold the ball a little bit more than he would.
Chris Paul is
old
a coach
too.
He's
what is he? 36
years.
What a time!
That's all you need him for. And you know what he could do? You could have still drafted a point guard behind Chris Paul.
Yeah,
and groomed him.
Yes, that is one.
That's what you could have done.
What I'm saying,
I agree. I think Quickly would have been great alongside Chris Paul.
Absolutely.
A guy like Quickly could space the floor and then play. He's a heady guy. Because we've been talking about. As I remember, I mentioned one scenario where I was high on Halliburton and low, and high on him and low. And I said, if Halliburton was able to play with a guy like Chris Paul, I would take Halliburton. If you were able to get Chris Paul and bring him to the team and bring a guy like Halliburton to play off of him, because I've said even with Halliburton, I thought he would have been perfect with the Hawks, playing alongside Trae Young, who's more of an attacking guard. He can do everything, right? But you play off him with those threes like he did in college at Iowa State. That would be. But guys, look, guys, I gotta be out. I will be back here at 6:30 to cover the game, man. Thank you for coming on, man. This was fun as hell. Yo, motivated by success. I love you. I got love for you. But if you troll me, I'm going to troll you back. So salute to everybody in the chat, man. God bless each and every one of you. I'm going to see you back here, man. Chuck, if you could join us for a little bit more, man. Even though Chuck didn't get as killed as I expect him to, but I still got to get the rest of your predictions for the rest of the players, like Randall, whatever. So I'll see you back here. Yo, Zach, thank you for joining us. You're more than welcome to come back anytime I open up the lines. Joe, you already know, man. This guy is always drunk. He's always been. I'm joking. Joe's not drunk.
I don't drink.
I'm about to destroy Joe.
I know. Joe doesn't drink. But you might have been
come. What do you
might have been drunk today, baby. You might have been drunk today, baby. But yo, Joe, I'm gonna see you later, bro. Shoot to everybody in the chat, man. Jonathan Hernandez, C-Mac, everybody, Mrs. Carlson, New York, all the guys I missed. You guys, yo, Chuck, you're not coming for nobody. You're dead.
I'm coming for
Joe.
Joe.
I'm gonna see you guys here later, man.
Come for me. Come. What do you got now? DSJ is gonna do what?
No, you.
What's the new number? 5 and 2.
Chuck, come back. Chuck, come back in 30 minutes. Joe, come back in not 30 minutes. At 6:30. Come back. I'll open up for 30 minutes before the game.
Come back, Joe.
Hey, Guillermo.
I'll
see you after the game.
No, by the way, Ron is gonna be coming after the post game. Please, man. It's the Knicks. Please go subscribe.
Chuck, it'll be open with you, man. Come on in and give your insight. You and Joe can go at it.
Yeah, easy. Because we know Chuck.
9:35.
Chuck is a little kid. Chuck is. Come on. It's like,
I'm gonna destroy Joe.
You know,
for what? Come on, come get me. Come. What do you got?
What you said. What you said.
I think I know what it is too.
Yeah,
but, you're crazy. You want to trade Obi after one game? You nuts.
No.
Peace, guys. Yo, we out. Peace, man. Yeah, Coach Colbach. We out of here, man.